For those of you that do not know me, my name is Webb. I'm the owner of Model ESTEEM. Model ESTEEM is a model development and promotional modeling company. I am a professional plus-size model. I've modeled here in Chicago. I've modeled in New York. I'm signed to 3 agencies here in Chicago for both acting, on camera, and modeling. So my whole goal is to kind of get you acclimated. Oh, and I've done media as well, celebrity interviews, although I'm not a media personality anymore, but you know, I'm going to pick that up again. The whole goal is to get models in the mindset of making money. That's basically what this is all about. My day job is an accountant, so I'm a business person. So oftentimes, starting here in Chicago in particular, in the area of modeling, a lot of models are doing some of the wrong things that are not going to get them to the next level. I did it because I didn't know any better. So it's to combine both my business knowledge and have models thinking that this is most definitely business, because it is. And then also the modeling industry and the fashion industry knowledge, so you can start putting yourself in the right position in order for you to essentially get paid. It's not going to happen overnight. You know, you're going to have to do things in order to get there. But let's start you on the right track so you won't be rolling around 5 years doing a whole bunch of fashion shows that you're not going to get paid for. And that's not to knock anybody that does things here, but that's the real. And I did it just because I didn't know, right? So 2009, I didn't even know you could be a professional model as a plus-size woman until I started doing my research. So, since I talk a lot, and I know people get tired of talking and hear me talk, I have brought in 5 amazing speakers that's going to talk about various different topics as it relates to modeling, promotional modeling, as well as acting in media. Those are all areas that kind of stem from modeling from a different perspective. So I don't want you to just think about it just being fashion, fashion, fashion. There's spokes modeling that you can be a part of. There's media that you can be a part of. I have actually done every facet of modeling and gotten paid for it in some regard. So you can do a whole bunch, okay? I didn't want to do a whole big old panel thing. I wanted it to kind of be intimate. I'm kind of different and creative. So, you know, get your food, sit back and relax. And I'm hoping that you guys learn something, take notes, and then, you know, tweet me or promote me on social media, okay? So our first speaker that we have is Carrie. Carrie is the owner of
Fierce Faces and Fashion.
Fierce Face. That's 3 F's. I was like, I'm not gonna mess up the F's. He's a full-time photographer. So he's going to talk about trade for print versus investment, how you can be a part of his upcoming magazine, and then other topics that he's going to discuss. So thank you, Carrie.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Do you all mind if I sit? Is that okay?
That's fine.
That's fine, okay. All right, well, as she said, my name is Carrie. Photography business for over 30 years. Full-time for the past 16 years. I've been shooting all over. I love it. It's what I do. Also launched a magazine first of the year, Fierce Faces and Fashion. So we always look for models to promote. We interview people such as Emily, Shatima, you know, things like that, with makeup artists, hairstylists, a lot of people that are in the industry. So it's a very informative magazine. So that's what I do. But today I would like to talk to you all about investing in your career. Okay, investing versus TFP, you know, trade for print and all of that. There are a lot of photographers here in Chicago and all over that pick up a camera, take a halfway clear picture, and say they're a great photographer. And they contact models on social media all the time. Hey, let's shoot, I'll give you your images. I'll do this, I'll do that, you know. And one of the first things they do, they'll shoot you and get you comfortable with them, and then they turn around, hey, well, you want to do a boudoir shoot? You want to do this, you want to do that? They do it. So be careful, okay? TFP, you're trading. You know, you've got to do something to get something, right? I disagree. Pay for it and you'll be happy. But the thing with that is investing as opposed to just paying for it is a totally different thing. When you're investing in something, for example, you don't go out and pay for stocks. You invest in the stock market. Consider yourself a high commodity. You're trying to get somewhere in the business. Okay, so you go out and you shoot with the photographer and he tells you, okay, well, I'll shoot you for $100. And then you have another photographer who is very experienced as opposed to this new photographer, and he says, well, my rates start at $500. Wow, I can't afford that. I understand. Talk to the photographer and say, well, hey, is there a payment plan? Can I give you $250 up front? You give me X amount of images, and then I pay on other images so that I can build my book. Yes, do that, please, by all means, because you want quality images to present for your work. It's a must. It's a must because you have people out here. You are, what do you do again? Casting. He does casting, and I'm sure he does not want to see an image that look like it came from your cell phone. You know, they look for quality. They want to see who you are. And when you invest in what you're doing, it makes a major difference. I have a little card here I'm going to pass out so you can kind of get an idea of what you're paying for. And it shows you kind of, excuse me, please. There you go. It's too big. Now you have a thing right here at the top that says new model, new photographer. This shows who's paying whom. In the red is the person that's new and experienced, as you see, and established, and the pay chart's going straight across. If you're going to go TFP, you're not paying, right? So you look right here at the top, it says new model shooting with a new photographer. Yeah, you're gonna shoot TFP. As opposed to a new model working with an established photographer or an experienced photographer, 3 different photographers, of course. New photographer just picking up a camera, just getting started in the industry. Okay, established photographer, someone who's been doing it for a little while, you know, but then he does not have all the credentials that go along with it. Established photographer is generally a published photographer, someone who's been doing it for a long time, great images, putting in the time to do it, okay? Full time usually. Most established photographers are full time. Experience, experience. Established photographers are those who are generally saying, you know, okay, well, I do have a 9 to 5, but I still work in the industry. And they still do great pictures. Don't get me wrong. They still do great pictures. But if you're looking to get paid as a model, if you're with an experienced photographer and you're expecting him to pay you and you're a new model, generally the way that you're going to get paid is if this experienced photographer is shooting for a brand, a company, and they have a budget, and that photographer likes your look. And he says, okay, well, I like what I see here. You know, well, this is their budget. We can pay you this. But an established photographer and a new photographer generally won't be the ones getting that big business. You know, so then with the established model, established photographer, yes, they can trade. Experienced models and experienced photographers, they can trade. But you don't expect an experienced model to go to a new photographer and pay that new photographer because he's trying to get into the business just like you are. You understand that, right? He's trying to get out there just like you. So instead of you going to someone and him saying, okay, well, I can't pay you, but I can give you a couple of images. Okay, well, let's sit down and negotiate this before. What can we do? How do I get my images? Am I getting edited images? Are they professionally edited images? Are they overly edited images? You see like the Snapchat stuff, you know, all the soft focus on the faces. Agencies don't want that. They look for more natural looks. So when you're with a photographer and he's over editing you, you can't really use that. Okay? Another thing that you want to consider is your attitude when you go on set with a photographer, especially an experienced photographer. Tell your story. I am a stickler for time. And when you're working with someone, you come in and you're late, time is money. Okay? I was in my studio, I had a shoot with a young lady, and I was helping her out. This is really what made me stop shooting TFP. She came in an hour late. I was breaking down the gear. I was like, okay, I'm getting ready to go. Excuse me. She got there. She called, well, I'm downstairs. I said, well, I'm on the 6th floor. Well, how do I get up there? I said, well, there are stairs, there's an elevator. Well, how do I get on the elevator? I said, well, if you don't see the door open where you are, he'll be down in a second to bring you up. So I guess the elevator operator was somewhere in the building. So I walked down 6 flights to get her. I stood there. I said, how you doing? I'm fine. Nasty attitude. I said, okay. The elevator came, we went upstairs. I said, here, have a seat. First, you're late over an hour. Well, the person that was supposed to bring me, I said, that's not my concern. Not my concern. I said, so you're here now. I allotted 2 hours for your shoot. I'll give you this last time. We sat there. I said, you can go ahead and change. Okay. So I showed her where to change. Oh, I'm fine changing here. That's on you. I turned around, kept doing what I was doing. She changed. We started shooting. I got a few shots off. I said, okay, well, you can go ahead and change into another outfit. She changed. I shot 3 pictures. She sat down in the middle of the floor. I said, what's wrong? I'm tired. Okay, cool. Go ahead and change. No problem. Okay, fine. So what do you want me to put on? I said, what you came in with. Well, no, I'm just tired of this outfit. I said, I'm tired of your attitude. I'm done. This was a free shoot. So you won't get anything. I didn't get anything. We're fine. Watch your attitude. You're not grand. We should all be humble in what we do. And when I told her to leave, it wasn't because of arrogance. It was because of my frustration, because here it is, you're trying to get in the business. I'm trying to help you get in the business. I'm going to give you quality images. Whether it's 2, 3, 4, 5 images, you've got 5 images you can use in your book. But instead you want to offend me. No, you don't do that with not just me, but anyone who's trying to help you. This is a business. And if someone is doing something for you at no charge, wow, that's all the more reason for you to be, oh, thank you. You know, I'm not telling you to be all over anybody, no. But be appreciative of what is being done for you. It helps. It goes a long way. Because I also believe that models should not stick to one photographer. Shoot with as many photographers as you can. Because one person sees you one way. 10 people will see you in their way, but you'll have 10 different looks. You can shoot the same outfit with 10 different people and have 10 different shots. Don't stick to one person, believe me, it'll help you. This way, you've got a beautiful book. You've got versatility in your book. You've got something that you can present proudly and say, okay, well, I really believe this is going to be picked up. What else is there to do? Don't stick with one person because you'll look like you shot with one person. Just like, I'm sure, if you had 4 or 5 shoots, you're not going to wear your hair the same way, you're not going to wear the same outfit, you're not going to wear the same makeup. You're going to look different on every shoot, correct? But that one photographer is going to see you the same way. You might have 5 poses of the same thing. You don't want that. So work with as many professional photographers as you can. Professional does not only mean good images, it's attitude. It's how a photographer presents himself to you as well. You know, I believe that you get what you pay for. I saw a post that a hairstylist had, and it was a Barbie that was bald with about 3 or 4 strands of hair. And she said, oh, well, I decided to go with someone cheaper. And that's what happened. Okay, you go with someone cheap, it's the same thing with photography. You shoot with someone who just takes clear pictures. Your phone takes excellent pictures. But you're not going to get the quality that you desire and that you deserve in doing this. Okay? There was something else, 1 second. This went to sleep on me. You have something that they need and they have something you need. So be respectful in the industry and the respect will come back. I used to teach years ago and that was one thing that I taught my students. In order to get respect, you have to give respect. And with that, it comes back to you, believe me. You're talking to someone and you turn around and they remember that. So don't just get stuck shooting with one photographer. Don't get stuck trying to shoot TFP. Invest in yourselves. It's very important because your investment will turn around and shoot you in a direction that you want to go beyond because you took the time to invest in yourself. It's not going to hurt you in any way unless you get the wrong people. Okay? Any questions? I guess I was clear.
Good. We don't have any questions? All right.
In my magazine. Okay? And I'll give you all this card here and it will tell you how to give the email address. You can submit images to the magazine and then they will go to a panel. They look through the images and decide who can make the magazine issue and who won't make it. So if you all are interested in being published, which is generally a great goal for a model. And it's not only a digital magazine, it's a print magazine as well. This was the very first issue, Fierce Faces in Fashion.
Looks nice.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, so it's a quality magazine. It's not just something that's just thrown together.
Can you pass that around?
I can.
Yeah. And can you talk about thrown together magazines?
First off, how much do you sell chopped for, and where can I find them? And also, do you let photographers submit to you also?
Yes.
Okay.
Mad Cloud is where it's published through, and you can go on Mad Cloud, type in Fierce Faces in Fashion, it'll come up. You can order the magazines there. The first one was $9.99, but it went up from there. But you all can take a look at it, and also, again, I'll pass these around for you. Yes, ma'am.
So I have a question for you. So like, what would be your advice to people who like, so I know like when you're shooting with different photographers and like you're a model and you want to like do different looks like swimsuit, you want to do professional, and then you have some people that do nude. Like, what are your, kind of like, what's your thoughts as far as, because I know I've heard some people say like, some people who said for like who I am and what I do, that doing shoots like that may kind of like ruin like my image, something like that. So what's kind of like your thoughts about that?
With me, let's start with those three looks. You said the swimsuit, the business, and then a nude. Okay. It's my personal belief that my reputation is everything to me. So if I'm shooting a swimsuit, I'm going to shoot it in such a way that it's tasteful. When I'm shooting business, I'm going to make sure that it's representing business. And being a photographer, I shot nude. But you will not find one nude in my magazine, you will not find one nude on my website. Why? Because I don't want to be known as the TNA photographer. That's not what I do. So if you do that, ladies, if you shoot nudes, I would advise you to find someone who has great integrity. Okay? I had a model, actually the last model that I shot a nude of, she said, well, this is the first shoot I've done in a long time because the last photographer I shot with made me feel very uncomfortable, but a lot of people told me how you are and you never made anyone feel uncomfortable. When I touch a model, can I use your arm for a second?
Do it.
When I touch a model, I use fingertips. Okay, look, come on, that's, the move is here. That's here, here. When the photographer is grabbing you and groping you, step back and hold up. No. But we sat down, I said, okay, so what did he do to make you feel uncomfortable? And can I just be honest? We're all grown, right? Okay, so she said, well, we were sitting there, he was shooting, and he just said, can I give you head? And I'm like, what? Okay, that's horrible. You don't talk to someone whether they're paying you or whether you're shooting them for free. You don't do that. You know, so again, my integrity precedes me. I don't try to connect with who I'm working with. You know, my dad told me something when I first started shooting, and this was back in the 1980s. He said, what that girl got between her legs ain't gonna pay your bills. And I'm like, you're right. And when I was young, okay. But as I grew, I understood what he said. I can't sit here and try to push up on all these models. I said, because my reputation is gonna be tarnished, and I won't get paid. So that money is more important to me. So I love to shoot, I love to do what I do, but you know, you won't see it everywhere. You know, if I shot someone new, you know, you can't go to my website and pull it up. And no, I don't even have a website that shows that side of the spectrum. It's not what I do. Yes, sir.
What's the best advice? I've had a number of friends that have kind of gotten into a photo shoot, like what you call a creepy photographer. What's the best advice you give to them to help kind of weed out that process and only shoot with, you know, with good people like yourself, or like to just avoid that completely?
One, talk to other photographers about a photographer. Do you know this photographer? Really, how is this person, you know? Or, and if they don't, talk to other models. Have you ever shot with this person? What did you think about it? What did you think about her? You know, then, on your own, you sit down and say, okay, well, can we do a consultation before our session? Yes. With me, I generally try to do consultations. You know, and we sit down, and a lot of things that I'm saying to you all is what I say in consultations. You know, so in your consultation, you say, okay, well, I'm interested in doing some implied nudes. And when we do that, do you mind if I bring someone with me? Well, no, I don't allow people in my sessions. Well, I understand, because I'm the same way. I don't really care for extra people in my session. But to make that model comfortable for me to get the business, sure. But please understand that when we're in the session, that whomever you bring with you should not be coaching you, should not be telling you to do this, do that. Please have them sit in silence, because they're there for your comfort, not to coach you and model. You know, we want this session to come off between photographer and model, not between someone sitting on the side trying to inspect everything, tell you what to do, and then because it takes away from what I see as a photographer. So that helps. Try the consultation.
Can I add something to it as well?
Yes, you can.
I started doing TFPs at 16 by myself. My parents weren't around. And something that helped me is definitely do the shoots outdoors.
Yeah.
Okay? If you're not sure about the photographer and ever work with them, shoot it outdoors. You're gonna get your wings, you're gonna get your gut instincts up, you know, about how the industry is, how certain people are. So if you're getting to the mix, do it outdoors.
And another thing, one second, another, because I'm real forgetful. Let me say this. Another thing also is, if you're not certain about that photographer, shoot with that photographer more than once. The first time you shoot fully clothed, shoot, you know, do location shoot, as she said, and if you are shooting in the studio, see if you can bring someone with you. Make sure that, you know, you're fully clothed, and see what the person's integrity is like. It will help. Okay.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, like, a little bit of advice that I use for myself is I treat it like it's a business. It's, yes, you can have fun with it and everything, but it's professional. So if you're working with someone, they're gonna be professional, like you're being saying, hey, let's meet for coffee or something, and they're gonna meet you at a local place. There are a lot of times that you are gonna meet shady characters, but you'll know the difference once you've worked with quality people and you surround yourself with people that treat their photography like a business. Just like it's a corporate event or whatever, you'll know the difference.
Yes. I agree. And see, I love having consultation. I love having phone conversation prior to a shoot, because it helps you fill each other out. I had the honor and privilege to shoot with Ms. Pam here the other day. Images came out great, but we talked before we shot. We had, you know, good conversation. We understood, and we kept it business. But like you, I love to have fun when I shoot. I'm silly. I love to have fun, and I mean, we crack jokes, we play around, we're shooting, and
That makes
it,
the person
yes,
comfortable.
exactly. You know, it helps break the ice. You know, so it helps you to get to that place like, oh wow, this was a great shoot. And I always ask, man, well, did you have a good time? You know, good. Well, and then I don't like showing every image. I don't flip through the phone. Well, can I see that? Can I see that? No, you're wasting my time. Hold on. I'll show you a few images in the end. Hold on. You know, and then I may see one that I really like. Oh, now this is hot. Look at this. You know, great. It's fun. Have fun when you do it. You know, that's why I don't consider this work. I consider it, you know, hey, I make money having fun. You model, you make money having fun. That's what we do, right? We're here to enjoy what we're doing. We're trying to get paid to do what we enjoy to do. You know, so what, if you have a job, your goal is to come off that job and do what I want to do full time. You know, this is what we love to do, right? Okay, I'm done.
Perfect.
Okay, no question.
Go ahead.
Another question?
So during the photo shoot, do you provide the makeup artist or we bring our own artists?
There's one of two ways to do that. I include that in my fee, and I make sure that the makeup artist is there. But then there are a lot of times that you've worked with someone that you're really comfortable with that knows your face. Okay? So in those instances, when I say, if you're bringing your makeup artist, let me talk to a person, a photographer. Hey, can you have your makeup artist to contact me? Because I want to make sure that this makeup artist is going to represent me well also. You know, I don't want someone that's just coming in. I had another young lady, and I told her, we sat down for 2 hours talking about her shoot. And she said, okay, well, I have a makeup artist. I said, well, can I talk to her? She said, yeah, she called her right there. We talked. Oh, well, yeah, I've done makeup for pictures for a long, I've been doing this, I've been doing that. I said, okay, well, this is what she's telling me she wants. You know, the young lady told me everything that she wanted, how she wanted her looks to go. I said, okay, so this is what I need as a photographer with her makeup. And can you provide this? Oh, yeah, sure, no problem. When she finished with her makeup, I was in awe. I'm like, this is horrible. And I took one picture and I showed the model. I said, this is how your face is on camera. It was shiny, it was blotchy, you know, it wasn't blended well. I said, so you paid her. Now this goes back to that same little Barbie doll. I found someone cheaper, and that's what you came up with. Okay, so I said, this is not going to work. I said, because this means that I'm going to have to sit down with each image that you choose and do extreme editing on it. And when I finish, it's not going to look natural. I said, so what I can do now, you can pay an additional $75, I can have another makeup artist in a half hour. But again, it's because everyone does not do. It goes back to this new photographer, new model, new makeup artist. You know, established makeup artists, experienced makeup artists. You want to work with people that are experienced. You know, who know their craft, who have been in photography, makeup, hair, all of that. Okay, and be careful with your hair too on set. Careful with your hair.
Can you change
Can you change?
hair?
You can, yes. You got wigs. They make wigs out here, a couple of $100. They look good, look natural. Wear them. Change it up. Change your look, because again, you don't want a book, a portfolio with the same type of image in it all the way through. Change it up. You know, also when you're working with makeup artists on set, invest in this and make sure that the makeup artist can stay for your full shoot. Because you start to sweat, you rub your face, it needs to be touched up. If they can't stay, try to work something out. Well, hey, look, can you give me the lipstick? Because it starts to wear, as you know. Okay? Can I have or pay for some blush or something? Because I am pretty good at applying and I know how to blend on myself, but you have to do it seriously because you want your images to be right. And as a photographer, I love for each image to be like, wow. Okay, but as a photographer, I also know if you shoot 250 shots, you're not gonna like 250 shots. Okay, I'll shoot 250 shots, and before you even see them, I've gone through them. And when you come back, you're not going to see anything that I don't like. So you may see 100 shots. And it may not be because of photography. It may be because, okay, no, face was turned too much, eye was closed, hair is just not right, you know, different things. I'm going to take out everything I don't like. Because I want what you see to represent me as a photographer. And then when you see those shots, you're like, wow. Okay, yeah, I like this, I like this. Well, hold on now, we only agreed on 3 shots, 3 images per look. I shot 4 looks. But I like, can I get 10 shots per look? Okay, because you like them, we're going to work it out. That's how I want it to be when I shoot. Okay? Anything else? In my magazine. I've met her a few times and I called her up, Lindsay, I would love to feature you in my magazine. And because she saw the first magazine, she said, I will be honored. You know, I try to put out quality in all that I do. So it's, you know, submission, professional, please. And even if you shot with me, I'll say this. That's when I shoot TFP. If I like your look, and I say, man, I would love to feature you in my magazine, I'm not going to charge you to shoot you for my magazine. And of course, you're going to have tear sheets, you're going to get a copy, you're going to have everything you know, need from that. But I'll shoot you for free for my book. Okay, if I'm ready to upgrade my website, I like your look, I'm going to be like, hey, let's work. Okay? I'm not going to charge anybody. I'm not going to come to you and say, hey, I want to work with you. Pay me.
Yeah, because that happens.
Yes. If I want to work with you, it's because I want to work with you. Okay? When you come to me and you say, I want to work with you, sure, let's sit down and talk. That's fair, right? Is it fair for someone to come to you and say, can I take your picture? Pay me $500. It's not fair. It's not right. Okay?
Go ahead. I just want to say that, yes, I worked with Kerry this week, and he is the ultimate professional.
I love it.
I mean, in every way. He called me, he made sure I knew how to get to where we were going. He stayed in constant communication because we had to change a few things. We ended up having to park somewhere else and Uber over. He paid for the Uber. He made sure I was comfortable, and I don't know if you all noticed, when he was about to touch her, he asked her, can I touch your shoulder? He did the same thing with me. If he needed to touch me, he asked first. And I mean, just a very, very comfortable shoot. We had a good time. We were in and out. I worked with some other photographers. Very, very good experience. So.
Yeah, it was. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Awesome.
I really do.
Oh, good.
One more question.
Yes.
Thank you, Terry.
If anyone,
Yes, thank you, thank
my
you.
pleasure.
Yeah, what I was looking at, I reached out to a couple of photographers. Some of them said that they would love to do it, but they had other obligations. But I've never worked with Kerry. So I did my research. I liked that he was professional on his page. I liked that he wasn't talking about women in a derogatory way, because I've seen photographers do that. I like that he was very open. I like that he had a magazine, because I know that's something that models need to be published. You want to get out there more. Segue to Emily. Yeah, she's been in Miami. She's been in New York. Now she's here in the lovely land of Chicago. She is talking about social media publicity. You're a publicist as well, correct?
I'm building my own publicity house.
Publicity house, which is something
Sometimes
that
you have to do your own thing.
Yes, that's something that you need to know as a model. The fundamental steps in regards to promoting your own self, as well as.
I own a business called Innovate X on Facebook. Has anyone ever seen my events? Anything to do with IX Creative Studios? Anything to do with fashion parties? Anything to do with Off the Runway? Yep. Anything to, okay, tourist party. Okay, well, guess what? If you haven't seen it, well, you guys are part of my world now.
Yes.
Part of the tribe. Okay? I've been in the industry 17 years. I started off pursuing acting as a casting director right here with the acting world. So I started pursuing acting, went to School of the Arts in acting. Did 2 years of acting, 4 hours of acting a day, trained in acting. moved into doing modeling, moved into doing TFPs, got myself an agent. Very, very important to get yourself a local agent. This was in Boston. Did commercial print modeling. Now, you guys know the difference between commercial print modeling and fashion print modeling. You guys know the difference or you don't know the
Can
difference?
you break it down?
I can certainly break it down. Commercial print models, they are more real world models.
Mhm.
They have a nice
Smiley.
smile. Okay, there's more open-mindedness on the body as well. Versus fashion models have to have a certain height. They have to be pretty thin and tall, like 5'11 plus, and a certain size 0, size 2. Okay. Commercial print models do ads like I did for TJ Maxx, JCPenney, Target, H&M, Walmart, CVS, and on and on. We do the commercial type of ads versus fashion could be what? Gucci, right? Could be Prada, right? Name some brands, name some fashion brands. Louis Vuitton,
High fashion.
Calvin Klein, on and on and on. You see the difference. And that's okay because nowadays we have plus size modeling. And that came around, I'm happy about that. Now we also have petite size modeling. Petite, which is like smaller, you're like 5 feet or you're 5'2". So there's more diversity, and that's great. So commercial print modeling, went into that mix, completed my degrees, because I actually have a master's degree in business psychology. I focused on education while I was pursuing acting auditions and independent films and casting calls and stuff like that. Fell into the business side of the industry as a talent scout. So what I am is I'm a talent scout, and I started to coach people in the arts entertainment world in New York City. So I ended up moving from Boston to New York City, coached over 500 people in the arts, actors, painters, models, life coaching, business coaching, sharing the advice. Left there, moved to Miami. Started to throw fashion, artist showcases in Miami, model calls. Miami is amazing. Now, when you think of the fashion world, Miami is, these models are like on top of their game. These are swimwear models. These are major runway models. I mean, because Miami, raise your hand if you've been to Miami, right? These models, I mean, you're wearing, there's a lot of bikini shoots, right? It's always sunny, so you're going to be working out a lot. So these models are like on point. So, hung around with these guys. These are some of my very, very good friends and models in Miami. So I got to see the industry, how it is there, and I have connections there. So yeah, I have connections in New York, I have connections in Boston, I have connections in Miami. And now I've been here 6 months, and you know, I have a fashion studio in Ukrainian Village where I'm throwing my own fashion parties, and I'm scouting for talent. So, you know, the 17 years of experience in, oh, by the way, I've been in the music industry, 7 years. I'm also an A&R, yes. Anyone here in music? Yes. Singers, good. Okay, that has to do with money. Which we're talking about money. Okay. So as a woman, going to these different cities, expanding your network, like that is very, very important to have a really strong social media. So raise your hand if you have Facebook. You should all have your hand up. Okay? Raise your hand if you have a fan page for your modeling. I'm missing a lot of hands. You need a fan page for your modeling. How many likes, how many fans do you have for your fan page? Like my business page for Innovate, my business, which is Innovation Experience, that's 2,300, which is good. Like, whoo. So, but how many likes do you have in your page? Like fan likes?
Well, see, that's what I said. I sort of have a fan page.
No, it's okay.
A little bit. I have one, but I'm not actively.
I'm gonna give you the numbers. Ready?
5,000 Facebook friends. On
Yeah,
my
me too.
regular Facebook page. But I
2,000
haven't
followers on
figured
that.
out how to do the fan page thing.
Okay.
It's not working out.
To have, everyone, write this down. You need a fan page. You need to have respect in the industry. If I'm wrong, sorry. 1,000 likes. You need a minimum of 1,000 fan likes on your page. When it's like 500 fan likes, when it's like 300, is not good enough. You need 1,000 to start. Oh, that person's legit. That person. Raise your hand if you have 1,000 plus fan likes. Yeah, good job. Good. Okay, this is really important. How do you get the fan likes? You got to invite all your friends and family to like your page. Bug them. The shameless self-promoter is the one who stands out 5 years later. You guys are going to remember me 5 years later. I'm still going to do this. And you know, hopefully I'm still here. Okay. Raise your hand if you have your Instagram page. I'm seeing this is looking better. Okay. Again, you need about 2,000, 3,000 plus to have respect on that. 1,000, okay, raise your hand. Huh?
How do you get that?
You go to your Instagram account and you just add all your Facebook friends. And they follow you and then it just kicks it right up. And then obviously you always have to keep pushing your Instagram page out. Okay, keep pushing it out, keep pushing it out. Obviously Snapchat, we have the other ones like Snapchat and on. Raise your hand if you have a web page, your own website for your, now this is what's happening. Now we're seeing.
Look, Aisha, like, I can't even think I'm learning. I'm working on it because people keep saying that.
I have a web page. You have a web page.
Mine is launching this
I want to do a
summer.
blog and stuff, that's what I
Good.
want to work towards, I want to bring people to my world.
You need a Facebook page and you need your website, ladies. You need www. One of the team is audience.com. You need your first and last name. Yeah.
What do you advise, like price point wise for websites?
Websites, and I do web design myself, which is great. I design all my own flyers and stuff like that. Price point, the lowest it should be is $400. That's the cheapest it's gonna be. You guys just, hey,
How much?
my team does it. We'll talk about this.
Yes. We
$400 is the
need to set
cheapest.
up a separate class for
Yeah,
website design.
Yes. Yeah, we'll talk about it later,
Yeah,
services and stuff like that, but 400, you don't wanna pay $100, you don't wanna pay $200, and you start getting scared that that person's not gonna ever create a site.
What about
They're gonna-
75? I
No.
saw someone
No,
who,
please don't.
like posted,
No.
and then I was like, and then they kind of sent me a link to the website. It wasn't like bad, but for their price that they
They're
put,
gonna
it was
probably
like
steal your credit card
75
number.
special.
They're gonna steal your credit card
this,
number, don't
that. I
do
was
it.
like,
No. You gotta be careful with your
and then like I actually know this person, they're a friend of mine.
Well,
so
maybe
that's
it's a
why
friend discount, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't.
You get what
But-
you pay for.
You get what you pay for.
What you pay for.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, by the way, the other thing I didn't share with you is that with my studio, by the way, all you guys are invited for free for my fashion party tomorrow. Yay! Free passes,
Yay.
photographers and models and everybody coming through and 2 makeup artists, and it's beautiful. Okay, so yeah, Shatima's gonna be there.
Absolutely, I'm coming to support, yeah.
Do you have like a flyer or?
Yeah, I'll share that with, I'll share that through my Facebook. I don't know if I can share my,
Yeah, no, share. You guys check in, make
Yeah.
sure you take pictures of everything,
Okay.
the speakers and
My name
post
on
them on your
Facebook
page.
is Emily Correa, Correa. Creativity Muse. So it's like basically creativity. The word muse with a Z, M-U-Z-E. Emily Correa, Creativity Muse. I'm the only one there. Add me, and then I'll put your names on the guest list, or you can give me the names. But direct message me so I know you're coming through. Oh, Korea. C-O-R-R-E. Oh, Creativity Muse. Yeah. And it starts at 2 o'clock. So if you guys want a model, it's the theme is swimwear, but I'm open-minded for the models, and you worked in my studio. Yeah, you saw it already. Yeah, a little crazy last time, but it's gonna be swimwear, or it could be beachy. Okay, it could be like crop top with jeans and heels. Or you could just swimwear if you like. And it goes in my magazine. Okay, and I also have a magazine that I'm publishing in August. It's called Think Magazine. And it celebrates
I love that.
the mid-sized woman.
Yes, curvier lady.
We're missing. The middle-sized women are missing. So I have a magazine. Let me go back. So social media publicity, because I don't know how much time I have to give all this. You need to be known on social media because technology is moving where it's more and more and more needing just being online. And then the beauty of what I'm doing with my events is it brings people face to face. You're never gonna lose that. You're never gonna lose that you need to see people face to face, that you need to like touch, you need to, just be with people. That's not gonna change. But the business is gonna become more and more holograms and online auditions and all of that, okay? So you need social media big time. When you do your posts, these are the type of posts you should do to create buzz. You should I do something called the love bomb. Love bomb is a really pretty, you saw my love bomb, which I do once in a while. It's like a super selfie. It's kind of sexy, kind of like glamorous, beautiful. You don't have to show everything, I don't. I just do like maybe this and this. And I do like a nice love bomb. Boom. I do 4 to 5 pictures. I do the love bomb. The other post you're going to do is going to be like an inspirational quote. Drop knowledge, drop an inspirational quote. This is how I create variety. The third one's going to be some sort of statistic or fun fact, okay? The fourth one you're going to drop is going to be a check-in. You're going to check into a really nice restaurant, to a really nice event. You're going to have to show your check-ins. Really nice stuff that you're doing. The fifth one, you're going to show yourself partying, having fun, okay? Because you want to show that you have, you know, a nightlife type of thing. The sixth one, you're going to show yourself with a pet. Does anyone have a pet that grabs a lot of attention? Okay, you're going to either have with your puppy or something, or you're going to show a post to do with pets, because that gets in the people's psychology. This person, oh my God, this person, it warms their heart. The other post you can do is children. Does anyone here have children? Okay, so anything to do with a little baby or something like that. Okay, and the last post you can do is the controversial bomb. Boom, drop your opinion.
Ooh, I'm good at that. Everything else.
Controversial, you don't care, and you speak your mind, you say something that's kind of a little crazy, but you test it, okay? You just, boom, you do the controversial post, okay? And when you do the controversial post, leave it for like an hour. Like, you know, I do something about Kanye West. You know, I love Kanye, or you're gonna do something crazy about pop culture. Watch it. Anyone who talks to you in that post, those are your enemies. Those are your haters who've been dying to say something. They're watching you, right? They're watching you. And as soon as you say something that they dying to say something, I'm telling you.
Yes.
They're the first people to freaking say, yo, how you can say that? Blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
Those are your people who watch you, because you're always being watched. So I'm not saying don't delete everybody, but those are the people watching. I get rid of all of them, then you delete the post. Yes, that's a comment.
I like that.
They don't say nothing. You say something that they can actually hate on you and hate on you. Don't talk about politics too much. Don't get that's religion, politics, sexuality. Be careful. Don't do that.
That's what I was going to ask. How controversial? Because I mean, we have so many high controversial issues going on. A lot of stuff that, like, I mean, I'll say behind closed doors to certain people, but a lot of it I want to vocalize because I want to hear people's feedback. But also, if you say the wrong thing, I feel like you can be snubbed for saying the wrong thing.
Exactly.
It's not always what you say, but it's how you say it.
The thing is, nowadays everyone is so sensitive, and it's just a really hot time, anyways. So like I said, avoid religion, avoid politics, avoid Trump, please don't avoid Trump. Avoid any racial, you know. I'm saying pop culture. Talk about music. Talk about
sexuality.
Talk about pop entertainment business. Talk about
fashion.
Talk about simple things, like not simple, but talk about news. You know, or share your opinion on something really quick. I mean, you're a human. You have an opinion. You know, but don't go too crazy. Because social media is not a place for politics and all that stuff. People, you'll never change people. But like I said, you share a strong opinion. Those are the people watching you. Yeah. And those are my publicity bombs. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Jackie was first, then you, and then.
Can you just repeat them again?
No. The time. But anyone who took a list during a break, you give it to her.
Oh, you can repeat them if you want. It's okay. Yeah. She has to think about it. So who wrote it down? That's what I'm taking.
Because you want to have variety, okay? You want to have variety in your social media.
No.
And if people don't like you, that's cool too, because guess what? Respect is more important than popularity, okay? I'm sorry, you got to be yourself. And if they're talking about you, they're talking about you, and that's what matters, because being strong and being known in the entertainment industry is about being yourself and being confident, being your own brand, and loving that you have your hair this color. This is my color, you know? And I'm wearing this jacket. Like, this is my style. Like, you have to stand for who you are and your branding. And people are going to like that, respect you when you know yourself. Okay? And that's how you start becoming more of a boss in the industry, because you cannot be a follower in this industry. You got to create your own brand. You got to stand out. You got to have your own look. When you get into the music industry, you got to have your own. We'll get into that topic. Any questions before I continue? Yeah.
Oh, yes.
On Instagram, you know, you have people trying to follow you and friend you, follow you, whatever, and it's a lot of them that say they could add followers to you. Those are scams.
Don't do those. Those are scams. Yeah, like you pay whatever, $5 and then you go add a lot of people don't do those. No. You're just going to have to build it up organically, unless you're like a celebrity. You have like $2,000 in a marketing, social media marketing company that has some sick software. They're just like, I don't know how they do it, but they finagle some way to get you.
Yeah, it's kind of.
That's very expensive. That's what celebrities do. Celebrities don't manage, except for Twitter maybe a little bit. They don't manage their own social media. They have companies. They pay companies to do their social media.
Oh, 2,001 down, just down, or 2,000 a month? Like, what is that exactly?
It'll be $2,000 a month.
Okay.
Like a publicist, a usual publicist, like minimum retainer of $2,000 a month. That's why that's a lot of money. So you're gonna have to do all this publicity yourself before you have that money, and you're like, oh my God, I want. There's little secrets, by the way, how I bypass all that. But before you go, I don't care. Here's $2,000 to get into the magazines.
Well, I need everyone's help in this room, so follow me at Shyovia on Instagram.
And
That's SHYOVIA.
I won for Ashley Stewart 2018 Chicago finalist. So
Congratulations.
Thank you.
you do contact.
Good.
Good for your publicity. Yes.
So,
Your question. Sorry.
part of that is I have to raise my following base
Yeah.
because that's how the voting is, having followers. And looking at some of my, competition, they got all these followers. My page was private, so now it's public. So I just really need like followers.
It takes time. It's just gonna take time. And your work will sell itself. Yeah. And do video. Oh, I forgot the last thing. You do not do written posts. Whenever I post something on social media, I always have pictures, and I always have or video. Pictures or video. Message, picture, maybe 2 pictures. Message, video. Or the little pic. You know how the colors, when you put the colors, I love that. And so I'm always in people's faces. They don't want to read my stuff. They can unfriend me. That's fine. Yeah. Sorry, honey.
Could you explain in your perspective the importance of quality posts and like not posting like a million things?
You need to. I mean, how much of it really is quality, but it's social media.
Like
but
every post, I feel like should be a quality post and not like a poor quality
like
selfie.
maybe like bored, chilling.
Yeah, like.
Yeah.
Oh,
Eat
okay.
food.
Do not post. Okay. By the way, I'm not saying post. All these are just the strategies of posting, just to keep the variety. Everyone has different speeds of when they want to post. They post once a day, or they post once a week. I don't care. It's just the variety. You should do it more than once a week, so you should do it like every day. But should you post, oh my God, I ate this amazing thing, or oh, I went to the store, or I woke up, I had a great nap, or some stupid, no.
Sorry.
That's why I don't have
That's what
Snapchat.
they
I don't have
think about.
Snapchat because it's too much into my privacy. Like I'm like, no, I don't want anyone to see me walking around and what are you doing? Nah, that's like for people who have too much time. Did I answer your question at all?
Yeah, no, it was more of like for you to explain to them about.
So please, when you are a future celebrity, you guys, okay, your social media is a sacrifice. Your privacy is gone. Okay, so your social media is no longer personal. Okay, it's nothing to do with even your friends. My entire network on my social media is all entertainment industry. Like I go to the Facebook groups. You gotta do another trick. Join all the Facebook. I'm in all of them. All the Facebook Chicago fashion, Miami fashion, New York fashion. Join all those people. All those
Even
groups.
if you're not there.
Even if you don't live there. LA fashion.
I'm already in the
LA makeup. Join all the groups. My entire network is all business, and that's where you have to eventually get, because it's about money, and your Facebook is a business, and so my Facebook is all business. So everything I post is business. And people know that. I don't really care. It's a marketing person, and that's what I love. That's my life purpose. Yeah.
So is that for your fan page or your regular Facebook page, or is that both of them?
You can. Some people either. You could do either, but I put it for my personal. My network is all entertainment industry, so I get my business messages from there.
So
And then the fan page is your work, like your fashion shoots, your photo.
Okay.
Don't do the controversial posts there. Don't do the love bomb there on the fan page. Don't do the puppies and all that. Don't do that. That's the personal page.
So you need 2 pages basically. You have to have the fan page and just your
Yes.
page where it's kind of like, oh, this is me.
The fan page is all business. Your photo shoots, your videos, your makeup getting done, You guys come to the party tomorrow. Okay, that's all going on, well, the good pictures on the fan page. Okay, yeah, question?
Yeah, have you ever paid a local celebrity to post your picture or something or your business on their page? And if so, how did it work out? You never,
Okay, that is called paying for a brand, like an Instagram person, like a brand sponsorship. It's like paying someone who has like 1 million followers on Instagram to promote your business or something. That works. And that's where you guys can kind of go. Because now I'm going to talk about how to make money.
Brand ambassador.
Brand ambassador in the way that you are, am I right on this? That you build your following to the point that people are paying you for being a mini celebrity. Right? Because you have a big Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, I'm not going to say Snapchat. And next thing you know, you have 1 million people and they're paying you to wear their t-shirt.
Absolutely.
Okay, and yeah, and that's one of the ways to make money. Ready? Ways to make money as a model, aside from getting with a casting agency, is going to be, and this is gonna, that one's gonna take a lot of time to get there. Getting people to pay you to vlog, right, and wear their stuff, or wear their makeup, and, you know, stuff.
I have one.
It's called brand sponsored. Yeah.
I have one plus size company that actually sends me Kiona dresses and stuff to take professional pictures.
See?
And then I send it to them, and the last time they sent it to me, I was featured actually in Fabulous Plus magazine because of it.
Yes.
So it was pretty cool.
It's good.
So you know what? I like that because you did it already. You don't care. Right, I did it. So you should wear your friend's stuff. If your friend has a t-shirt company or a jewelry company, work together. Cross promote. Like, why is this?
Cross branding.
Yeah, work together, promote them. Why not? And build up with them.
Yeah. Can I interject something with that?
Sure.
Again, make sure that it's something that's going to be representative of you as well.
Right.
You don't want to wear something that says FUB, okay, and it contradicts who you are, and you're promoting that, and then it makes others look at you like, wait a minute. So be careful what you promote as well, if you want to. So.
Yeah, exactly. And you can ask me, hey Emily, is this stupid to post? I'm like, you know, like we're friends now, so be like, yeah, don't do that. It's bad for publicity.
Yeah, I've done that a lot throughout my life. I'm getting my life together. I posted a lot of stuff I shouldn't have posted, but I'm getting my
I
life
kind of
together.
wanted you to touch on, like, can you like talk to them about how important it is not to post? Like, I know people gonna drink and like smoke weed and stuff. Can you please say not posting that?
So
because that would ruin, you know, business and people will look at that. I see a lot of people
do not complain loudly on your personal page of fights and problems that you have with photographers and with models and you know, like, it happens all the time, but like, don't talk about it, okay? Don't complain. I hate when I repost people are really depressed. Oh, I'm so depressed. I feel so bad. Oh my god, I killed themselves. I get nervous, you know? Don't post, I'm sorry, don't post really emotional, you broke up with your boyfriend, and don't post that. Don't post, oh my god, I'm hungover because I went drinking, and you know, don't post personal stuff like that. That just makes you look unprofessional, okay? Don't.
If you wouldn't tell your boss this, don't post it.
Your boss, by the way, most employers are looking you up on Facebook. So like I said, your Facebook is your sacrifice. It's your privacy. You're sacrificing your privacy. And your boss and everyone, the bigger you get, the more your privacy is gone. And what can you do? They just know who you are.
Facebook page.
Your jobs will know. Your jobs just the job know that you're.
Oh no, I have.
You did good.
My job know everything that I do. Yeah, they know
That's
I'm
a
a
great
business
job.
person.
That's a great job.
They knew I told them up front. In fact, they probably hired me because of it.
That's good.
Because
And you get confident, you go in the interview, hey, I do this, this is what I do. And that's where you gotta get to the point where you're authentic.
I have a question.
Who you are. Yes. I'm sorry we're going over.
Sure. Does it help that I have an AK alias, I guess, from my model name?
No, that's a great idea. Keep it as
that's
long
what I
as
was
you can.
told, and not to merge in any way My
That's
personal
fine.
page, okay.
Perfectly.
She has a different name. It's confusing as hell. Cause I'm like, who is Brenda and who is Lily? Like, are you guys twins? Like, who is who? And who's contacting me?
That's an alter ego.
I was gonna say, it's because I want to separate this life from personal life, and I really wanted, for my Instagram, it was kind of important for me to get real followers. I didn't want just like the whole town say, oh, that she's doing this.
Don't feel bad. It's just, yeah, I mean, that's, a lot of people do it. So that's totally fine.
Becky just asked about making your social media public as opposed to private. Do you suggest that everyone that's trying to do it stay public so that they?
Oh, your posts and stuff?
No, their pages in general, you know, because like on
Some people pages
Instagram, you know,
private.
they have their pages, their
Right.
Instagram
You gotta
private.
follow
Keep
them in order for you.
Keep your, okay, keep your Instagram private. Write that down. You don't want every weirdo adding you because you're a sexy model. Weirdo adding you. Keep it private. Instagram. Instagram private.
Oh, mine's public.
I mean, adding. People add you. Like you gotta vet them. How you say it?
Like you gotta accept them, so like when
Yes.
they get on your page, it'll say account private, and then you have to actually like.
Yes.
That's so many different agencies and stuff that say make sure your page is public.
What did I just tell you? What did I just
They
tell
can't
you?
see the
What did I
hashtags
just
won't
tell
work
you?
if your page
If
is
you want to
private.
check.
Right.
So.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
that's
keep.
public.
Yes. You have to be public.
I keep mine public.
With
and
people
that's
with-
no problem.
Yeah. That's how you gain traction.
My page is public, but when people are adding me, they can't add me automatically. I read through, make sure every person is vetted.
You have to look at
They
that
can't read
feature.
my
I know what you're talking about.
Right, because I just looked you up on Instagram,
you're
I
actually
can't see your
private.
page.
Yeah.
But what they always say, what everyone I've talked to
Yeah.
has said is, make sure your page is public, so that everybody can look.
I don't know. I gotta look in, maybe I switched it or something, I'm not sure. But what I'm saying is, you know how like in the setting that anyone can add you like endlessly and there's
It's
no
fine,
vetting?
your page is private.
Make sure, okay, well, you know what, I personally like private because I think it's sexier. I think it's sexier with Instagram because I can see exactly who it is. A lot of celebrities just keep it private. And if they need to want to see all my awesome pictures, then you know what, that's fine. I just add them one by one by one by one. I personally like it set private.
Okay.
But I mean, you got she's also in a different area. Like we're models, so.
I'm gonna say something different. I'm gonna say something way different
So
from what you're
what
saying.
I was referring to was Facebook. Since you have a model's Facebook page,
Yeah.
and then you have a regular Facebook page,
Yeah.
do your regular Facebook page needs to be public. Because on some posts you can make it public, and then on a lot of posts you can make it to your friends. So
Yeah.
do it have to be your private Facebook have to be open, public?
My Facebook
Since you have a model
page is, I guess I'm confused with this. My Facebook page is private, but then again, I'm a talent scout, so I don't know like the way that exactly you're, maybe.
She is in a. This is what I've seen.
He's
Talent.
fine for
Some talent scouts keep their page private. They're everything because they don't want people
I understand that.
going over them and stuff like that. So
What's
it really
best-
depends.
I'm sorry.
Right, it depends.
I do
It
my
totally
thing.
depends.
What's best for?
But when I vet them and they're really, really good, and I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, then I let them through. So maybe, yeah. Hopefully you guys get what I'm saying.
Right.
So,
You're at a different level. You're at a different level.
I'm sorry, I have so many,
You're like here, we're trying to get there.
people. I'm sorry, I think I just kind of keep it, that's why I don't even have Snapchat. Because I don't want like the privacy issue, but because you guys are models, like I said, you sacrifice yourselves a bit, so you're gonna have to do that.
That's a good thing. to have an
Okay?
alias.
So I guess you gotta be public. If you're a model, I don't care. Just take it off. Just
I
take it
have an alias
off.
on my Instagram, on my Twitter, and on my
You gotta be
Facebook.
so public. And I personally don't. So yeah.
Yeah, if I
I
just
still don't have a lot of
European country or whatever, if I'm following it on my personal page,
Even no, because you have to listen, ladies. You have to be very safe in this industry because we're women. I'm sorry, we're women,
Yeah.
and people try and hit on you
Yes, all the time.
left and right. The men are trying to, and because you're models, are going to do that all night. You have to so and they're going to try to get with me left and right. And then because there's a lot of stalkers out there, you guys.
Yep.
A lot of stalkers. And
Yes, it is.
if I leave my personal stuff like that open, there's so many eyeballs looking, and it freaks me out. Like there's too many men and like creepsters. So be very careful.
I'm going to frame you, accept me, okay?
Yeah, all you guys are rude. Like even my fashion studio, I don't share the address. It's something that is only by invite only. Yeah, and that's how you start getting exclusive. That's how you start getting exclusive.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Does it
That's so New York.
But this is Chicago too. You got, you know, I'm not gonna just
Does it-
give my information out.
Does it help to follow other Instagram models that have a very good following that are signed with other like big agencies like
Yes.
Ford and Dorothy? And to
Follow
network
all the influencers.
with,
Yes.
and to network with different companies that might be small businesses, but that also, if you're curvy or whatever you are, you know, will,
Yeah.
you know.
No, I mean, you want, like I said, you want to like keep adding. My entire Facebook is all arts and entertainment industry, music industry, acting, models, and they're amazing people.
Because I've personally seen that it's actually helped me get more followers.
All the ways to make money real quick, so I have to finish up. Ready? How much time do I have? Like 5 minutes?
You have about 10 if it's talking about money. What did I say when I first got started? I like the way you business account. It's about money, get it.
Yes.
Okay, who here has an agent? Raise your hand if you already have a modeling agency.
I would.
You're signed. You're signed? Okay. Okay. I mean, you have a whole lot of them here. I saw the list.
A lot of them.
There's a lot.
What do you all suggest?
I recommend,
Share.
I don't know, sorry, and help me with this one right here. Get yourself an agency, and the only reason why I say get yourself an agency is because those gigs are gonna be very professional.
Yeah.
And they're gonna pay you the most possible, and there's minimums, I don't know if it's the same thing here, there's minimums to your pay, like there's 2-hour minimum, 3-hour minimum, I believe it's $150 an hour, is it still the same here? Like,
How much an hour?
so, when you book a gig through an agency, the gig is minimum gonna pay you, even if they can't, like, you show up and like, go home, it's 2 or 3 hours, they still pay you. 2 or 3 hours at $150 an hour.
Media as well. So, and knowing who you are and owning it. Owning it. Like if you don't have self-confidence in yourself, how are you going to do all of this? If you don't have self-esteem in yourself, how are you going to do? She also has an awesome, amazing organization that is for you. What is the name of the
It's okay to be you.
It's okay to be you. So that's how her and I connected on the self-esteem end because, you know, model esteem, self-esteem, working with youth. I worked heavily with youth in the beginning when I first started Model Esteem, and I want to get back to that. So had a good conversation with her. She's just a super sweet person. Everybody that I spoke with is. But let's give it up for Aisha so she can talk. I want you to come to the front so we can get you a camera. You can bring your chair over there.
You gonna sit here?
Thank you, guys. I know it's tight.
Kind of
I'll stand.
stand.
No, you sure?
I could stand.
Okay, cool.
That's cool. Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Aisha Lee. So, as the host of this wonderful event introduced me as, currently I'm a producer at Crawford Broadcasting, which is Power 92, 106.3, 102.3, the gospel station, and the Rockford station. I do some modeling myself. So that's how we actually connected. One of my friends at the station connected us, and we reached out and just pretty much went from there. And then I ended up coming to this event, so I'm actually glad I came because I'm in the room with like some power people. So I love connecting with different people that can help like expand myself. I may have something that can help them, and they may have something that can help me. Kind of earlier to I'm sorry, what's your name? Carrie. Earlier to what he was saying as far as, you know, like trade for a trade, or you could just have something that help each other. So pretty much, so I host events as well, modeling, producing. I have my own non-for-profit organization. It's called the It's Okay to Be You campaign, which is a self-love campaign. It's making everyone, letting everybody know that it's okay to be you. You don't have to be like the next person. We are all different. And it's also a campaign that I started that's standing up against bullying, because that's my background. When I was younger, I was bullied. Then it continued in high school, even in my own household, as my grandmother being one of my bullies. So it got to that point, and then I was like, I want to do something to give back to my community and to let people, you know, my age and people younger and even people older that, you know, it's okay to be you. So that's pretty much why I started this campaign. So I go to different high schools, different middle schools throughout the school year, and I talk to the students. I share my story, and I talk to everyone about how I overcame the bullying and how I got to where I'm at now. As I'm gonna touch bases on the hosting first, and then I'm gonna get into as far as like loving who you are and owning it. So hosting, pretty much, it took me a minute to kind of get to where I'm at as far as being comfortable speaking into crowds, because I was always the shy person. So once I kind of got into the field of radio, that kind of brought out a side of me that I did not know I had. I'm like, okay, where is this personality, this attitude, and this swag coming from? Like, who do I think I am, right? So that's pretty much how that started. So it just brought out my personality. I became like more confident. I'm like, okay, like I got this, you know. Then the way I started just styling myself and dress, because I used to dress totally different, like back in middle school and high school. And then I was also dressing that way because I wasn't confident enough, which will segue into my next topic. So hosting events, some important things. Do anybody got like questions so far for me? We good? Okay. So I get a lot of clubs, a lot of promoters come in my DM on Instagram, hey Aisha, can you host this event? So it's very important. It's very important to know what opportunities you're taking before you accept the opportunities. Every opportunity is not a good opportunity. So promoters slide in my DM like, hey Aisha, can you host that Be Live tonight? Can you host that Encore or whatever tonight? I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like, what type of hosting it? Because it's a difference between hosting to where they just slap your name on a flyer and they want you to come to look cute and sit down. Me, I'm a professional, so I work at a radio station. I actually have experience with hosting, so I don't look forward to coming to club just to look cute. I do that on a regular basis. I'm serious. I just don't want to. Like, I'm ready to get on the mic, amp the crowd up, be Aisha, and do what I do because I'm in radio, I'm in media. I don't want to come, I'm sitting in the section, oh, you can't sit with us, hey, give me my bottles. Like, no. You can leave that to everybody else. So I had that incident happen recently. So a promoter wanted me to come and host, and I'm like, okay. So I got into the point of asking, because if people are reaching out to you for an opportunity, ask as many questions as you want to ask, because they're reaching out to you. And you have the right to know what you're doing. Like, if you're getting paid for it, is it free? Am I really hosting, or are you just slapping me on the flyer? So I asked him that. He was like, oh, just come and look cute. So I just didn't respond. I'm like, I'm not coming just to look cute. You know, if I'm not on the mic, if I'm not really hosting, then it's kind of like I'm to the point where I work at an established radio station. A lot of places where I go, I always see people who know me or I know them, and I feel like kind of like Birdman a little bit. Put some respect on my name. Just a little bit, you know. And that's just how I feel. I'm just like, okay, it's not like I'm still upcoming in the industry, but it's like I still have some type of leverage to where I could bring a crowd out. On a regular basis, when I go out on weekends to clubs, I have at least like 4 or 5 people with me, and they looking at me like, dang, she rose to the club deep, and we are the life of the party. Not trying to like toot my own horn, but like when I go out, like I don't need a drink to get me turned up. Like I'm just naturally Aisha, like, hey, how y'all doing? We party. They go to dance floor. Let's get, like, that's just me. So I feel like I definitely ask as many questions as I do when people like, hey Aisha, can you come host? I'm very picky about the events that I choose to go to now. At first, I was just like, okay, but you have to kind of be exclusive. Everybody can't have access to you. And right, like everybody can't, like if somebody can easily reach you, it's kind of like, okay, like what do I need? Don't attach your name. Certain things I'm not going to attach my name to. If I see a flyer and it's sloppy and it's busy, I'm not posting it on my social media. Like if your flyer or whatever is not together and it don't look presentable, Aisha will not be posting it. Like whoever hired me, they'll be mad. I'll probably tell them like, hey, can you make me a separate flyer with my name on it and tag me in it? But this flyer is a little bit, you know, I don't want to be on flyers where somebody's smoking weed and they got like, I'm not attaching my brand. And for who I am and what I do, as far as I have connections with CPS schools, and the schools are looking at me, principals are looking at me, my own job is looking at me. So it's like I kind of have to be, you know, very prestige of what I like choose to host. You know, like I'm not old, but I'm still like, I'm young in my 20s, but it's kind of like I'm like, okay, I don't want to really go this route. So certain gigs, right, certain gigs I choose to like just turn down and don't host. Then I have the people who come in my DM like, hey Aisha, and I tell them like, because I feel like I was doing a lot of gigs for free. I was, and I'll be honest about that, but I feel like sometimes you have to start from somewhere in order to kind of, you know, work your way up, because we got celebrities like Beyonce, Jay-Z, and all of them. They wasn't always getting paid for what they do, but now that they're who they are, you got to run that paper, or they not making, it's not happening. And I'm to the point to where I feel like a lot of people reach out to me to do free stuff. So like I've had a couple promoters, they're, hey Aisha, we want you to host. Okay, cool. I'm like, my rate is, and it wasn't, I'm like, okay, I'll just throw out some $250. They're like, we'll have to see if we could. No, I'm not coming.
Yeah.
Like that's simple, because you want me to host. It's not like I asked you. Right. Like now I can see if I ask you, and then I'm like, just how again earlier, like he's not gonna charge you if he asks you to be in his magazine. So like I'm not gonna charge you if I ask you to host. At this point, I feel like I'm tired of doing things for exposure, because I do have some type of leverage. I bring out a crowd, I grind, and I work for in the 3rd largest market in radio, which is Chicago. So I feel like, come on now, okay, you're a promoter, I work at radio, like we can, if you trying to work something out where it's like an exchange for exchange, okay, you host, and if you can promote this, promote that, then cool. But no, I'm like, I get to the point where I'm like, okay, no, I'm not doing this for free. I need to start getting paid. I got bills, just like you got bills. I'm sure everybody in here got bills. So, you know, so it happens like that. As far as hosting, I know a lot of people think that I've been to parties to where, and I've had a group of people that I was doing some gigs for some promoters, and I was their host. They was, you know, I was coming out, I was hosting and everything. And it got to a point to where I'm like, okay, I was doing it for free. Cool. So then it got to a point to where they wanted to bring they was bringing one of my homies out. His name is Ford from Black Ink, from Chicago. Yeah. So, you know, they call me at like how they say you call and ask how somebody is. They was like, have you worked with Ford before? How is he? I was like, oh, you know, that's my homie. We vibe well, we cool. They was like, how would you like to host with him? I'm like, oh yeah, let's do it. That's the homie. Let's host. So remind you, I wasn't getting paid, didn't ask them for nothing. So they was willing to spend all of this money to pay Ford, but of course to not pay me. But they come to find out the night of the party, they didn't even, they pulled me up to the side. They was like, we didn't even need Ford. Like this was packed out without him. But you wouldn't pay me, but you spent all this money on him, and now y'all mad. So when I had a conversation with them about starting to get paid, and again, I threw out $150 to $250, and then they were my homies, so I'm like, okay, you know, we could work together, you know. And I bought a lot of people to their parties. So had a conversation about them about getting paid. They eventually they just like wiped me out as being a host altogether, because I mentioned getting paid to them, and we were supposed to follow up. I started seeing flyers. They got this other girl with a big social media following than me, and that's who they have to host their events now. So I'm like, okay, it's cool. You like what you like, that's fine. The way I host things, people think that hosting is just hopping on the mic and just doing all like turning. No, like I actually, you know, when I get on, it's more than just standing in front of a crowd and getting on the mic. It's like vibing with the crowd. It's making them feel good. It's making them feel like it's a party. And that's what I do when I host. I don't like people just get on the mic just like, yeah, it's your girl MF and da turn up. We ain't like, no, like that's not really hosting. Like, okay, you may have a little, you know, turn up words here and there, but like it's really like vibing with them, like going in the crowd. Like I go in the crowd, take pictures, I network. Hey, how you doing? Like, are you having a good time? Like that's the type of host that I am. And I feel like that's how I would want to feel if I go to a party and somebody hosting versus somebody just sitting in a section and they getting paid just to make an appearance. That's not the type of, like, no. You know, like I really want to host. So when people when people reach out to me with certain gigs, I just overturn it, because I'm just like, okay, like I got bills to pay, y'all. I feel like I've done enough favors. Now if it's something as a friend, like how again it connects to what they were saying, like if maybe we could work something out. Like if you ain't really got my budget, maybe we could, you know, we could work something out. Maybe $150 the next time I come. Okay, maybe something else, like, you know, we could probably do something like that. So segueing from hosting into loving who you are. So actually, this is the new issue of True Star magazine. I don't know if you guys heard of True Star.
Yes, I was featured in it.
But I am
My
actually,
son was a true
I'm actually featured.
Yeah.
I'm featured in the last printed issue
Yeah.
on page 39. They pretty much like tell my story.
Another print publication, you wanna try to get as many print publications as you can.
So
Here's your resume.
pretty much this was a last printed issue. Start like my own campaign, I wouldn't be like comfortable in my skin. I didn't used to be confident. Like things that I like when I was in school, we had people, they wore all the name brand stuff. I was the opposite. I was coming to school, had on some Rainbow, whatever, had on K-Swiss. We all know the song they used to sing back then when you came to school wearing K-Swiss. That's why, you know, I used to have Pumas on.
What's the song?
The purpose of me kind of, you know, saying that is that I was always different and I didn't have that confidence. So as I grew, as I got older and in my career field, you know, my circle started to change as well as my focus. And once I like went to college and I got focused into radio, that's when my friends dropped. Like I started here and then it was kind of like, okay, and then today is still like my circle is very small. I realized that like, and that's even with like my career, like you have to be careful who you hang with and go out with because you have people who will show, excuse my language, show their ass and that will reflect on you.
Absolutely.
And I will completely cut off a friendship because of that because I can't go out with somebody that want to be the turn-up queen and king and want to fight somebody and I have relationships with clubs. Like any club in Chicago I go to, somebody knows me. They know I work for Power Nights. They know what I do, so that will get back to them. And like it'll just be all types of bad. So I'm very cognizant of who I go out with. The crowd I used to hang with then is completely opposite from the people who I hang with out now. You know, I feel like all of this adds as far as like hosting and when you're like in entertainment, like period. I'm sure all of them will kind of agree to everything that I'm pretty much saying as far as that. You know, you have to. Of course, you have to clean up your image as well. Like earlier, how I was saying, posting certain things on social media, like it's like when my campaign, when I look for people to come and speak on my campaign, I kind of like have to research them. Like I don't want even the Chicago artists. Like I was trying to. I remember when I was in the mindset of like, oh, okay, I want to bring a few Chicago artists on. And when I kind of listen to their music of what they rap about and bringing them into the school to talk to kids about loving themselves and putting the guns down and violence and not bullying, your music is not matching up to my brand. So that's contradicting myself. I can't have you in front of these kids and you rapping about shooting Lil Debo and BBing them on the block. And you're in the school talking about it's okay to be you, put the guns down, peace, respect life, and you're not respecting life in your music. So I can't have that attached to my brand. So I kind of have to screen people who want to come and speak on my campaign. I do look at their social media, how people say when like photographers want to work with you or if she wanted to hire you, like
looking, you guys.
People are always watching. So
all the time.
Right. So for instance, I had it was one of my old classmates who I went to my old high school with, Perspectives Charter School. And
I taught there. You talking about 87? No,
81st and May?
Yeah, 81st and May. Yeah, never again.
Never again, Perspective, never again.
Just being honest.
So
I'm glad you turned out okay.
Yeah, I graduated. Turned out real good, you know, and it's working out lovely. So one of the teachers that I was talking to set up the event with, he like hit me up. He was like, are you still having, I'm not gonna say her name, but are you still having Shyla come and speak on your campaign? I'm like, yeah, why? He was like, well, I seen a post of her like cussing and just saying a whole lot of inappropriate stuff. You sure you still want her to come? I was like, oh, I didn't see that. So I went to her page and I saw it. I was like, yeah, like, okay, it's good. You know, you don't even have to come. Which she didn't end up showing up anyways. But that's the purpose of me saying like people are watching what you post. So again, when I look for people to speak on my campaign, I kind of like, I'm browsing a page, or if I see we got mutual friends and I know that person personally, I'm hitting up that person like, what do you know about this person? How are they with like, you know, speaking and stuff. And like, for instance, one of my work friends, Katrina, introduced me and her. And I was already kind of like, I already was aware of her because I would see them conversing back and forth on the status. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'm already familiar with who she is, what she do, and everything. So like, when it's something like that, you trust people's judgments when it's something like that, you know, because we have that type of relationship. So I'm like, oh, okay, it's somebody she referred to me. So like, you know, like we cool, you know. So yes, I take like with hosting and just like owning who you are. And then it starts with just, you know, like owning up to, like, if whatever problems or issue or confidence issues you have, it starts with owning it. Once you own your flaws and once you love yourself, can't nobody else tell you anything different. You're going to love yourself regardless. Like, can't nobody use your pain or throw your pain in your face as long as you're owning it.
Yes.
And you know that. So, and that's something that I learned to do. I didn't know how to do that. You know, so people could walk up to me, say whatever they wanted to say, like, oh, you got on this, but like, if you're confident, like confident is you see somebody next to you trying to get to the same level and you help that person. You don't knock them down. You bringing them up with you, like, oh, okay, you doing radio? Girl, we gonna do radio together. You want to host? You can come and host with me. I got you. You want to know how to do this? I got you. So that's the type of, that's how we know that we're all confident, like owning it. And pretty much just like loving who you are. Like long as you, like, own everything that you do. Like if you walk a certain way, own that walk. Let it be the meanest walk ever. Like, okay, I walk like this, so that walk may make you famous one day. The way you dress may get you to the next. Somebody is looking and somebody gonna like, oh, I like how she walked. Like I want her on my runway. Oh, I like how she dressed. I want her in my magazine, or I want her on my runway. I want to shoot with her. I need her behind my camera because she has something. So I learned how to do all of that over the years. Like I said, my backstory is in the magazine. I was very personal with them. I shared, like, hey, I started off from being bullied in middle school to high school, you know, not having a good relationship with my grandma, to being verbally abused by her, to the point to where I had to walk out the house. I had to sleep in my car for a little while, had to go to my friends' cribs and sleep there. Stayed out purposely late because I didn't want to go home, because I was just like, you know, everybody want to be at peace when they go home. Yeah. You know, you don't want to go to your crib and like you feel uncomfortable. You're like, okay, so it's only two places on earth you want to have peace: your house and the grave. That's what I was told. So you go in your house and you don't have peace, there's something wrong. True. So, you know, it's either I gotta go or they gotta go. Somebody gotta go. But that's pretty much like my backstory and how I started just like loving Aisha more, and just started reevaluating things, you know, loving even my scars. If I got some marks or a beauty mark or a birthmark, that's what makes me different. Like I'm not like the next person. I'm me because of this mark. Like you never know what will get you to the next level. So that's pretty much what I learned how to do, and I apply that to my everyday life. I apply it in media. We know that we are in a cutthroat industry. Radio is so cutthroat. Like I said, I'm still young and I'm still learning, so I have people like literally hating on me left or right every day, everywhere I go. I got people who don't want to help me get to the next level, or they see me as a threat and they throw shade on me. So I won't make it, you know, to the next level. But it's all about, and I don't believe in doing the eye for eye, tooth for a tooth, because that's going to block my blessings, and I don't have time to block my blessings or my money, because I like money, and I'm sure we all do. I like money, and I'm sure we all do. So I don't have time for that. So I mean, you know, the most I pretty much do, I go about my business. I keep going hard, keep being Aisha. I keep going into school, sharing my story, motivating the kids, the youth, the students, and teaching them basically like the same thing that I'm talking to you guys about, sharing my story and teaching them how to love who you are and pretty much own it.
That's what I want to do too.
Like you gotta own it, and then you gotta have a voice too. So you know, once you combine all of that together, you are unstoppable. And that's pretty much like what I do today, from hosting to like my everyday life. I just wake up and like the same Aisha y'all see now, that's the same Aisha I'm pretty much I am every day. But we all human. We have our points to where we you know, we gotta like take back a minute, we gotta take a break, we gotta reevaluate some things. I had to do that myself this week. I had to pull myself back from my close friends because it's things that I needed to evaluate about Aisha to make me a better Aisha. So you know, if you got people that don't understand that you have to do things like that, then they not your real friends. They don't really understand. So that's what kind of like taught me, you know. And my mom and them taught me not to let nobody ever hold anything over your head. Like if they want to snitch on you about something, okay, go ahead, but you're not gonna hold it over my head. You're not gonna throw it in my face, you know. So that pretty much wraps up everything that I was saying. Did anybody have any questions, comments, or concerns for me, or everybody's good? Okay, yes.
They have a, I'm trying to look for it now. They have a fashion show for bullying. They're doing a fashion show, and I thought maybe you was part of that.
You're talking about Sherry Gearhart's,
Yellow
Live Out Loud, Live Out Loud?
Yeah.
Yeah, that,
Oh, yeah, I'm a part of that.
Oh, I haven't heard of
yeah,
that.
Sherry Gearhart.
I will be
Actually,
connecting
you know what,
with you guys.
talk with me after I give you her, I'll
Okay.
connect you guys.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
I do model training for her.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
What does Monica call?
I don't know.
right now.
Something now, but I'm looking to start my own. How did you go about starting it and funding it?
Oh, wait.
Okay.
There was a question. I wanna make sure that we hear this and we can hear it on camera. What was it?
Okay. No, I asked how did you start your nonprofit, because I actually work for a nonprofit and I'm looking to venture out to do that because I do want to go back to the community, not just here in Chicago, but all over. I want to make it a global thing because that's one of the biggest things for me is having a platform to be able to do that.
So pretty much like for me, it was like literally like a dream. I was just like, I woke up out of my sleep one day, like literally I was just in my room, and then I'm like, God, I want to do something to give back to my community and something where I'm sharing my story of being bullied with other people. How can I help other people? And starting a campaign, and originally it just started off where I was gonna just go to the schools myself and talk to people, and like I was talking to someone else and like we was just on the phone and they was kind of like giving me like, we were texting, they were like giving me like names and stuff, and then I kind of like finalized everything. I was like, it's okay to be you. And then I emphasized the B, B-E-E.
I love it.
You know, because B is extended, it's okay to be you. So I extended that part for like a reason, on purpose. So it was like an idea. I started at my old high school. And then, I started at Perspectives.
I like perspective. I'm mad with y'all.
So I started there, and then it went from that school to me like blasting it, a simple social media blast. And like literally everybody just started hitting me up, flooding me with inboxes, comments like, oh my God, I want to hear more about it. Hit me up, text me. But that let the door open for the wrong people to come in my campaign. And the same people who was on it in the beginning, it kind of rotated to, you know, transition into different people, because sometimes people rock with your vision for their own personal reason, for their own gainage, you know. And it's something that I started, and I feel like being the CEO of my business, like I have to say so of like, okay, this ain't right, you know. So if your heart is not into what I'm doing, I don't need you a part of my vision, because when I wake up, I live, eat, breathe, and think this. And if you're not on the same level as me, then I can't allow you to like rock with my vision. So it just started off as like me like just waking up one day and I was like, I'm gonna do an anti-bullying campaign. Boom, went to my old school, it happened. Then from there I went to another school, to another school, to another school, and it just kept going. It's currently like not funded. I currently like do everything pretty much on my own, as far as like I just get in my car and I just drive to the schools, I talk to the principals, we map out what days and what times and how many students, what grade level and where it's going to be at. And then I reach out to other people to get them to come and speak on my campaign. And that's pretty much how it started. I actually just applied for a grant that somebody bought me up to. They was like, hey, they having a grant, this will be good for your anti-bullying campaign. So I filled out the application. Not sure if I'm going to get it towards the end of this month, but I prayed about it.
Yeah,
so hopefully, you know, but that would be I'm not going to say if I get the grant, when I get this grant, this will be the first grant that I've had since my campaign started. And I started back in 2016, and actually I'm getting ready to work on my anniversary party in August of this year, so that's in the works. So, oh yeah, everyone's invited. So
On a side note, I'd like to talk to you before you leave, just have a couple ideas, because I like to pass anything that I can help somebody else grow or whatever. I like to do that. That's just me as a person.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm open for that. So that's how I pretty much started the campaign. So it's in the process of being funded, everything else is like pretty much directed from like me.
And I'm part of Talent for Change. It's a kids nonprofit from Miami that is now in town here in Chicago to help the kids, inner city kids here. So we can talk about collaborating and it's kids, it's helping kids. And so the projects that I'm doing with my fashion events and stuff like that, as I'm ramping them up, the percentage is going to help the kids of Chicago. So we gotta talk. Because it is a 501c legal and everything, and
or if
that's,
have like
that's where we're going into
like
it.
an EIN number and stuff, so I have that, but like eventually, like how she was saying, like a 501c3, that's huge, and that's something that, you know, like if people want to give you money and sponsor you, everybody's gonna ask for a 501c3 so they can make sure, and I don't blame them because they want to make sure you're not just going on a shopping spree with that money. You know, I would ask for that too, like you got something that I can see where I know where my money is going, so you know, that's understandable. But luckily with some of the like connections that I have with people and they just know my personality and what type of person I am, they pretty much don't worry about that. But I do want it to expand nationwide. I'm working on some stuff as far as like how you were saying, like you wanted yours to go like nationwide. I'm working on some stuff like that as well. And then I actually get asked to, like, my inbox is crazy now. I have schools coming left and right. I spoke at the Peace Summit this year, the 2018 Peace Summit at the House of Hope. And then I just got asked to come on board to do something this summer for like a group of kids during like the summer in July and stuff. So yeah, it's just a blessing for me to be able to do what I do and kind of connect it and tie it into my career field and what I do in radio. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
I want to bring you up to the front to talk about television opportunities and how you got to present yourself and just various things that you can do. So now,
hey y'all. I love you too. Hey you guys. Well, so it's a pleasure to be here and, you know, to share with some amazing experts within the confines of our creative space. I'm Erica Malden, but you'll find me, okay, people in the industry say I have two personalities. So it's Erica Malden, but you'll find me on social media, Erica Porter MBA. I have over 30 social media pages. So I deal with social media management, all that kind of stuff. So, you know, from this perspective of the industry, you know. So yeah. And I have a website, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. So we're gonna talk about that a little bit later. But I am a producer by trade. I've been in the television and film industry since 1997. Okay, my oldest is 28. I have two granddaughters. My youngest is 15, so I have 4 kids and 2 granddaughters who are absolutely amazing. So I was a babe. You know, I was a semi-babe in the industry because I was like in my early 20s when I started. I was at the University of Cincinnati, so I've, you know, received my degree in this industry, electronic media from University of Cincinnati, my undergrad. My master's from Xavier University. I have an MBA, so I've been a business owner since for 20 years now. 20 years. And so so my first job in the industry was a receptionist because I knew that I wanted to be in TV, but I just didn't know how to get in there. And the only way that I figured that I could get walk into the business was to say, hey, I'll take the job as a receptionist. So I did it for like 3 months. But when I was going through my interview, I told her, I said that, you just need to make sure that I'm in the, you'll know that I'm going to be in the back in about 6 months. So, you know, this is temporary, but I'm going to give, you know, 2,000% while I'm up here, but expect that you guys are going to have to shift me in about 6 months, and that's what they ended up doing. I ended up becoming, working an engineer. I was the only female in the engineering department, so I was switching TV shows. You know, at that time it was like the other Steve Harvey show and the Jamie Foxx shows and all that kind of stuff. And simultaneously I was working as creative production. So I was an associate producer, so I would write commercials for like car dealerships and stuff, and this was all done in Cincinnati, so I'm not even from here originally. So I'm like an outsider and living in now, but I've been here for 10 years. But I've been here now 10 years as of October. When I came, and I'll say this, now what inspired me, that actually helped me to really understand that there's power in words, there's power in vision. When you're given something, know it's going to come to pass, but you have to actually be conscious of it, and then you've got to apply action. You can't expect it to fall, you know, in front of you. So I was 16 when I had my first daughter, okay, and I was living in the projects. I've been, y'all, if you look me up, you'll see all my story. I'm very transparent now. I didn't used to be this way, you know, but it's all about branding. We're going to talk about that in just a moment, okay? So I was 16 years old when I had my first daughter, my first child, and I came from a home of drug addicts, bless you, alcoholism, domestic violence, you know, violence upon myself, you know, was molested, raped, all kinds of stuff. I mean, I went through a lot growing up, and now today I'm motivated. I get hired across the country to speak at events talking about my story. So, but I went through a lot, and so when you are like in that dark place, you can't really see outside of that, and so you know that you've got these things that you know you're supposed to be doing, but it's a hard, you have a challenge getting to that, you know, because you can't get past that hurdle, right? So you have to hold on to these things that that you know are a part of who you are. And so, and I'm talking about the vision, okay? So one day, I was pregnant with my daughter. I was only maybe about 6 months at that time. I was very active still in high school. They put me on medical leave, so I was actually I had a tutor that was coming home. I was class officer from home, okay? Living in the projects. About to have a baby at 16. All this other stuff going on, right? And it was an episode of Oprah. So when she had to do an Oprah show. 4 o'clock, came on 4 o'clock in Cincinnati. And she started talking about when you write, when you have a vision, you have to make it plain, right? So you know things that you want the universe to give back to you. You need to put it out there, right? So that you can receive it, right? So I started writing a plan at like 16, like what the heck? What the hell was I going to, you know, like I really don't know too much farther than what I can see, you know, ahead of me, but my circumstances didn't allow me to see any of that, you know what I'm saying? So I wrote my first 7 goals, personally and professionally, and one of them was to own a production company. I wanted to do this. I was 16 years old. And it's so funny because years down the line, my goal list have gotten even more extensive. I mean, you know, and I'm doing them every year. You know, I do semi-annual too, okay? You know, I like to write things out, but one of the years when I first made it to Chicago, it was like the second year it was here in Chicago, I had on my list that I wanted to speak with Oprah. Now at that time, I had already done like a lot of like syndicated broadcasting related stuff, you know. I hadn't been in reality TV. I hadn't done any daytime talk shows, but I was like, I just want to talk to Oprah. I said I didn't want a job with Oprah, nothing, you know. 2009. 2009, I had just submitted to this was her last season, and Whitney Houston was going to be, you know, they were looking for Whitney Houston's biggest fans, and so I submitted something, and I had only been here 1 year, almost 1 year at that time. And so I get a phone call one day, and they're saying, hey, you know, this is Charbonne from, that's her name. This is Charbonne from OWN, and we were wanting to see if you would be interested. And I'm like, did you say? Hold on. So I want to cut, yeah, because I was like, okay, wait a minute, hold on. So I'm like getting that much closer to Oprah, like that much closer, because I knew when I moved here to Chicago that I was gonna get that much closer to Oprah. Right? I was gonna make it happen, right? Because I knew nobody. Like I came here, I had all this wealth of knowledge and experience and connections. Then I'm a networker. I love to talk. I will connect. I love to connect people and make the magic happen. If it ain't with me, it's with somebody else. You know, it's about connecting the dots, right? So I'm out here. I know all these people out in Cincinnati, but I knew nobody up in here. I met with Dwayne Hirsch. You know, they had the business spotlight networking, but I still really didn't really know any industry people at that time. So I was traveling back and forth a whole lot. So long story short, they made a huge mistake when they scheduled me, and then said, the producer said, well, whenever you want to come back, just give us some dates. Here's my cell phone number. Okay. So next thing I know, we're sitting in the audience, and I'm sitting directly in front of Oprah. And it was an episode with Wanda Sykes and her family, and Wanda Sykes' family was sitting right next to me. I'm sitting on the first row, and I'm like looking at Oprah. Like, I'm thinking like, didn't I write this down? Didn't I write that down? And so I'm looking at her, and you know, the whole time, and I'm just like anxious. My mother-in-law, they're like, come on, I'm thinking about something being all cool, like, yeah, we up in here, and I got us up in here. We got VIP, they walking us through, and everybody's looking like, who it is? I said, they just made some mistakes. They just didn't know that they had made mistakes, you know, when they booked us. So, you know, they gave us a VIP treatment for real. So, if anybody has watched Oprah or been in the studio audience, you'll see she takes her shoes off, okay? You know, that's her wind down, right? She takes her shoes off, she starts talking to the audience in verse, right? Steve Harvey does it too, but he doesn't take his shoes off.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. All right. They all do it. They just don't take their shoes off. But she takes her shoes off, you know. And so people were yelling, "I love you, Oprah. We can't believe we're here." You know, all these other things, you know. And you know, something that said me say something. And so I said, you know what? I said, can I say something, Oprah? I said, you inspired me when I was 16.
Wow.
And she was like, and I said, I'll put you on my goal list this year. And I'm sitting right here and talking to you. And she was like, you put me on your goal list this year and you made it? Yeah. She said, you know, it takes people years, years to get in here, and they don't have a conversation with me. And I'm looking at everybody's laughing and everything, having a really good time, right? And I said, but I said, I was watching the episode and I told her, I went back to when I was 16, and I told her what my circumstance was at that moment. And she looked at me and she said, you know what? That's something I've been missing from my life. I stopped doing it maybe about 10 years ago. And she said, this conversation, this moment right here is inspiring me, re-inspiring me to get back to writing. So I said, I've coined what I've lived my life. You write it, you receive it, you believe it, it's yours. And that's why you're here today. Okay, because you all, this room is full of gifts, full of talents, full of creative, innovative people, right? I'm just a producer, okay? I love TV, I love film, okay? But I love TV, right? And I own these two companies, you know. I have one's called Edit Talent Group. You guys can look it up.
Edit Talent Group.
Yes.
Edit,
EDIT.
Add her.
And it's a media production staffing agency. So what I do after like all my years of, I was, you know, like it so happened that like as I'm growing, you know, I'm getting all this knowledge. I had these wonderful mentors, you know, that wasn't from my family, because my family wouldn't support me. I know some of y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Okay, we're gonna keep it real, because when we get to this space, this is the kind of things we have to deal with, right? I'm gonna keep it real always. Okay, all right? So they you know, they didn't want to support me, but I had people that wasn't in my blood that wanted to support me, that saw that I had visions, they saw that I had these gifts, and they just wanted to encourage me and push me to do what I needed to do for myself and for my family, because that's all I can think about, you know. And so you know, after so long, you know, like me, you know, having, you know, so Edit Talent Group is crew TV shows, so TV shows, corporate productions. So I've crewed like Empire, Chicago Fire, Chicago PD, Transformers movies, TV shows. We just did Miss Oda's Regrets, so I send them folks. One of my shows is down in this building.
Black Ink.
So we crew, but I also, you know, the visions don't stop. But you don't just get one. And I want to move around, because this is me, right?
Yeah,
but you don't just get one, right? You don't get one vision. Right? So about, what's this, 2018? 4 years ago, I woke up one day and I was like, I'm giving my resources and my time away to these production companies. Chris Abrego was my boss. I was sad. My friend, he was my boss
Oh
over
my
another.
gosh.
Anybody know who Chris Abrego is?
He dominated reality TV.
Yeah, he's the reason why reality TV really
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Every show.
Yeah, Real World.
Every
all
show
of
is
that.
famous.
Yeah.
So
So
real life, all
he's the one, Chris Abrego is the one that really coined the whole idea of taking reality and celebrities.
Yeah.
You know, so they call the celeb reality space, right? And so, you know, I had worked with all these different, I was providing service for all them, you know, because he was, at that time, that was called 51 Minds. That's when it, you know, but now he's actually Steve Harvey's, well, he was Steve Harvey's boss over here when he was down here in Chicago. Now, Endemol is in partnership with NBC and Steve Harvey, you know, his production company or what have you. So anyhow, so I have edit talent groups, so we crew the TV shows. So sometimes or live productions. I do Steve Harvey's galas. I do Common's galas. I do, like agency. McDonald's is one of my clients. So I do like not just TV per se. I do things on the other side, right? So then, like I said, 4 years ago, I woke up. And, you know, I was already giving all this money and this time, you know, they kind of double back on me, you know, as a producer, you know, hey, you know all these people, you done got to Chicago and you know, I mean, all these people come to you and da-da-da-da, because at this point, I was, you know, I went from knowing nobody here to like when I go in events, like I got lines like wrapped around the corner, stopping just at, you know, just to get some information and say, you know, they have some questions or whatever the situation is, and I am like always open and giving. And I'm like, honey, look, take all this, all I got, all this, you can have it all, okay? Because I want all of us to grow. It ain't just about me, you know what I'm saying? So, so I ended up starting, you know, they were hiring me already to develop stories. It's called development and distribution. So develop these reality TV shows, content, ideas, you know, bring talent in because they wrap reality shows around people, okay? Not just around the idea of, but around the people, right? And then, you know, helping them as far as the development and distribution process. I think at that time I was working with David Atunga, Jennifer.
Yes, right.
Well, they never got married. We were working on a show, developing something for him at that time, and I said, you know what? I said, if they take another, you know, another moment of my time, because they were double backing on me, because this industry will take advantage of you. Like I said, I'm going to keep it real with you. They would try to take advantage of you, right? And you know, you're thinking about, oh, I just want to have relationships, you know, I want to make sure my name get out there, all these other kids. But see, then what you do is you compromise who you are. You compromise your brand, okay? So, so I'm working it, and so I started, the company is called Chicks That Pitch. So we actually help pitch original content, help to develop it, and help to distribute it. So I have went from very minimal relationships to relationships with nearly every production company and network, television network across the world. And it's truly been a blessing. I've got a business partner with Chicks That Pitch, you know. She said, are you sure you want to be a business owner? I said, we're best friends. I said, I know. Because that's another thing, you know, when you're working, you know, with people and developing with your friends, you gotta also be careful. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, let it be something that you see, because know that it's not going to be an easy relationship, okay? So we did the Chicks That Pitch. Chicks That Pitch, you know, not only do we help to pitch people's ideas, so people send ideas to us and say, oh, I got a reality TV show idea, or I have a reality TV show. Okay, well, what makes you a reality TV show? Okay? And so they submit their stuff over to us. We, you know, get their stuff in the database, and then we look at it and say when shows reach out to us, then, you know, we can submit them over as candidates, what have you. So like on Black Ink Crew, they double back. They hire edit and they hire chicks, because I not just book the crew, some of the crew on there, but I also book the talent, you know. So that's people that might be sitting in the restaurants. That might be somebody that, like I did, there was a pastor last season when Don and Ashley were going through their stuff last year, and she was trying to take it to
41st
church.
and King Drive.
Yep,
Dr. Leon finished.
Yep, yeah,
I was
Alan
working
Conley.
there at that time.
Yep, Alan Conley. So that's my scene.
Yep.
I produced that whole story. You know, it brought the whole religious aspect in the Black King Crew. That was actually the first season where they were #1 in the reality space. You know, that also one of my good friends, Valerie Edehan, was the supervisor producer over that show. So, but yeah, very sweet, right? Very sweet. And so, you know, I knew when I was young what I wanted, you know, and I knew that it would happen, and I knew that if I wrote those things down and just put some action to it, they would come into fruition, right? But one of the things that I denied myself of was understanding that I needed to identify myself as a brand. Okay? How do you get people to know who you are? How do you get people to acknowledge what you do? What makes you so freaking special, so different from everybody else? Because everybody up in here, we can all strut our stuff. Every last one of us. Every one of us. But what makes you so special? You know? And so it's kind of hard to get that message out there, okay, if you're not taking advantage of the free tools and the resources. And the free tools and resources start with this. The internet. Start with social media. You know what I'm saying? Taking advantage of those things. So you got to identify what your brand is, right, before you start saying, well, I just want to be on TV. Because the one thing that the networks are looking for, the production companies look for, you know, they're looking at your social media page. Yeah, they want to know if you're entertainment. That's why I can't agree with what she says, you know, because it works for what for that portion of the industry. But for this industry, if you're going to be in TV, if you're going to be on film, you need to be yourself. I have a whole segment, a whole section on our website for real people talent. They literally are looking for people that are real, right? Shatima was real people talent. Real people. You know, whatever it is about you that makes you so extra special, right?
You know, paid for it.
Yeah, and you get paid for it, right? Exactly.
I know what they were saying as far as, and I'm sorry to cut you off, but like I saw an interview with Black Ink was just at the job before, just at my job before the new episode aired, and like I was listening to how like Four and Don and all of them was talking about how a lot of people think that those things are fake, but they actually real.
Well, okay,
Some of them are.
The stuff is real. The stuff is real, but it's a story-driven concept. So even though it's saying that it's unscripted, it's scripted.
Yeah,
I used to have a job. One of my jobs, I was a story producer. I literally had to sit back and watch. They had a camera set up, right? I sit back and I write everything that goes down, what time, and what was, and then highlight what was most important, and what seemed like it would be great for TV, and then I would send the notes over, and I would do it like a summary. You know, this is the crazy things that happened today, blah, 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 blah. And so then they would take that, and the above the line team, you know, the lead producers, executive producers say, okay, Erica just gave us some great story. This is what we need to pull from this, and then we're gonna cut it together. And even if it was shot on a different day, it's gonna fit into that piece. So we talked about that. They call them pickups. So it's scripted, unscripted.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that.
But I've seen like exactly what you was talking about. I was at a couple of parties that Black Ink had, and it was the producers was literally saying do this and do that, and I was like, really?
Yeah, and here's the thing. Part of the reason why I started Chicks That Pitch, because I was one of those producers that say, you know, you want to go ahead and knock this crap out of her. You know, you want to, you know, you want to just say some instigate. Right. That was me. Okay, that's because I was getting the check for it. I was getting the check for it, but see, that's not me, right? I'm not an instigator. I'm not that. So, you know, I had to take matters into my own hands, okay, and create a space where I could really, truly, you know, help my vision to be manifested, right? And so I said, I want to do feel-good TV. I want to do stuff that makes people laugh. that makes people cry, you know, that just, you know, that helps to build communities and stuff. And there's so much stuff out there. And at that time, you know, they were talking about, we want ratchet, we want screaming, we want fighting, we want blood, we want liquor, we want, you know, and one day, and it was so crazy because, you know, Chris Abrego, we were on a phone call, was actually, it was really interesting because I was working on a project that involved a beauty salon that the show never came to fruition because she was running her mouth and it got to T.I.'s wife, Tiny. So when Tiny, I'm getting a phone call midnight, Tiny done got word that, you know, she done found out about a TV show that's, you know, being developed, you know, another hair show, Her and Shekinah were working on a little hair show, the road trip thing, which only went one season. And so, you know, they said, well, we're going to pull our contract. This is when they were doing Family Hustle. We're going to pull our contract, make all these threats, what have you. So I'm on the phone, and Chris, I'm sick of this shit. all this controversy, like all the time. He said, at some point, we've got to have some feel good stuff. Now, I didn't already, he didn't know, but I was already working on it. And so since then, you know, like I said, I've, you know, been able to help with talent, help to develop them. I got people that are, you know, models, strippers, you know, hosts of restaurants, professionals that have just retired or, you know, quit their, you know, their jobs after working 25, 30 years that are now like talent. And this market is overly saturated with opportunities, and it can be overwhelming though, right? Because sometimes you got people that don't want to tell business. Okay, then you got people, right? And then you got those that say, okay, well, we're gonna sign you up, but you're gonna have to change this, that, and this, and that, and that. Be who you are. Okay, if you want to be on TV, want to film, they first thing they ask, I said, well, I'll say, you know, well, I've got this amazing, you know, person and she's doing da 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 da, and then okay, well, what's her Facebook page look like? What's her Instagram? How many followers she on Instagram? How many views she got on her videos?
They want people with big followings and views.
And you can have, and here's the thing, you can have 2 Facebook pages, right? You can have your pro page, you can have your regular page. Your regular page you want to keep private, that's your business, okay? But that other page, whoever you are, identify not just with one role, okay? Not with just one role. If it's just modeling that you want to do, then let that just be it. But if you're trying to do a whole bunch of other things or trying to really open that space for yourself, you gotta be who yourself. Yes. You have to be, because that's how they relate to your brand. These days, shoot, people look at you sideways. If you're a business owner, and they're like, okay, well, I ain't gonna give them my $20 because I don't know nothing about you. What you gonna do with that $20? You know what I'm saying? That's the attitude that this market has, you know? And so you can go on honey, I'm all out there. Honey, you gonna know about, just go and look. Right. Let me tell you something though, for real. What that did for me though, it started healing in me. And then my healing, it was transferable to the world. Right? So all these people out here like hitting me up on inbox. I need advice on relationships. I just need to talk to get through that. I had somebody inbox me yesterday that said she's been on suicide watch for 4 weeks. Wow. I deal with not just industry people, I deal with people that are really truly hurting, you know. But they had to see my transparency because now I know that I'm fully walking into my mission. Because my mission is not my job.
That's it.
It's not. Your mission is not being a model. Your mission is not being, you know, social media guru. You know, it's not. You know, your mission is so far beyond that. You know, so you have to identify what that is, right? And then coin your life, adapt your life, you know, adjust your life to fit that. And if it means it's outside that box, so what? Because that's where you're going to get the exposure, right? Nobody says you got to be out the box to be and do it negatively. Nobody says you got to, you know, ass out, tits out. Nobody says you got to do all that. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, if you want people to identify, you have to determine what in you makes you so special. What makes you so special? Think about that. What can you do with your eyes closed and your mouth taped shut and your hands tied together and your feet bound? Like, what can you do that you were born with and you ain't even got to be taught? That's where your money maker is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's where your money maker is. So, if you guys, I'm gonna leave it at that because there's a whole lot more I can do. But you know, and like I said, I speak. I just left. I gotta go back to Dayton. I just left Dayton. I gotta go to Roanoke, Virginia, Lexington, Kentucky. I do speaking engagements, so I do motivational speaking. It's a combination of how to turn your pain into purpose.
Yeah. So that's what was in mine.
I need to read that. Yeah, so it's turn your pain to purposes. So, you know, now people know me. I was Erica something. They call me Media Maven worldwide now.
Yeah.
So, and I've got a book that's coming out. It's called Confessions of a Media Maven. So it's a memoir, it's a motivational memoir. So it talks about, you know, not just my personal life, but you know, the career and you know, my goal, you know, and my mission, my purpose to help to change the world one person at a time, you know. And so, you know, if you guys, you know, because I know I need a jet.
Yes.
But find me on all social media platforms and my website. And if I see any of y'all up in here again, and you say you ain't got a website, we're gonna have a real conversation. Because let me tell you something. You ain't got, okay, yes, you want to get to the point where you can pay somebody, but there's a lot of stuff you can do out here where you ain't got to pay nobody to do it. Okay? You got Wix.
Yes.
You got Weebly. You got GoDaddy's a little boo, Jake.
Yeah,
but you got GoDaddy. But you know,
I got a website. Tell me really quick, because I know you gotta go.
Yeah.
As far as websites,
Yeah.
because I keep hearing that even as a model, you need a website.
Yes.
My question is, what are you putting on the website that you can't put on Instagram or Facebook?
Well, you know, here's the thing. Right, no. Here's the thing. You want to tailor your website so that it's a combination of those things. It's like, you know, it's almost like somebody looking at it's a curriculum vitae in the business world.
Yeah.
If you're a corporate, you know, if you had a corporate job, they want to look at your landscape, what you're all about, you know, and then, you know, take advantage of, so right now, okay, it may be a model website. What other services do you provide? Are you a host?
Yes.
You know, are you know, a brand ambassador? You know, so you want to have them different tabs. You know
and
what
it
I'm
gives
saying?
them a back through like a view of what you do. Like if you're a photographer, people like, well, how can I see your work? They're gonna instantly go to your website, and that's how you get your bookings and you know all types of stuff.
They're gonna look at. They're gonna Google. Here's the thing: if you can Google a person and they don't have a website.
Yeah.
Somebody's calling themselves a company.
Yeah.
It gives credibility.
Yeah. More credible. Yeah.
You should be able to just Google their name and then a website is attached to them. That's it. That was around before social media, so we ain't got no excuses. Okay. Yes. So, but yeah, find me on Erica Porter MBA. DM me. Don't Facebook inbox me because I promise you'll get lost in the shuffle between the career industry folks and the people that just need some additional support and the dudes that always hit me up like crazy.
They look for you on Instagram?
Yeah, on all of them. Erica
Are you
Porter.
on Twitter?
ERICKA. And then I've got like all these different organizations, groups I developed. I started on social media, Black Girl Media Magic, and all the all these women in industry here in Chicago, black women. I got a turquoise dress, ERICKA. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you can follow me. I'm not.
Oh, there you go. Sorry.
I'm not hitting on there. So yeah, you got me though. Yeah. So Black Girl Media Magic, Black Industry Makers. So if if you're a radio personality, or you want to do, learn, or get the experience and knowledge. We have hosts 6 days a week and we promote you. So, like I'm already thinking about having a couple of people to be interviewed, including Emily, on Black Industry Makers. We're very popular. It's on Facebook. So there's a lot of other things. But if you just reach out to me, I'll send you everything. But if you Google my name, especially the Erica Porter MBA, you'll see all that stuff. So yes.
Yeah. Just a final thing. Just as a creative entrepreneur, I'm launching a magazine. I'm launching a independent radio station. I'm launching the fashion events. YouTube channel. Everything's connected. You are
See.
such an inspiration. I'm creating a voice for artists. And
yes,
my
thank you.
branding is on the YouTube of being a blogger and sharing my story.
Yeah.
There
Right?
you go.
That's the next step. 'Cause I can't just help everyone. I gotta also present.
You have to,
myself.
right? Because see, you know, you were brought
And
into
that's
this.
where people are training me to put myself in the spotlight too.
Yeah,
And
because-
this event
yes.
by Shatima, thank you so much
Yes,
for giving the
fantastic.
opportunity
Yeah.
for us to give
Yes.
our
Yeah,
wisdom.
yeah, and you're absolutely correct. Let me tell you something. I did real good hiding behind the scenes for a really long time, you know. And I had mentors like, you need to be in newscaster. I'll walk you into the TV station. I'll do this and I'll do that. And I'm like, oh no, I feel like here to be creative and be smart. We keep that here, you know. Y'all do that, you know. And then, you know, but the minute that I decided, you know, the minute that I was like obedient to the universe, because I said I can't have all these other things if people don't know who I am, they can't identify with me. You know what I'm saying? So then after that started happening, then I started like when I'm booking people on these shows. You know, Steve Harvey say, well, you know, can we since you're available, you know, you're already here, can you be a model on this segment?
Yes, she's a model.
I'm like, look, wow, there you go. So I'm doing Steve. I did Steve Harvey about 4 times, 5 times. Oprah's Life Class.
Yeah.
TLC, the recent one, new show, This Is Life Live. I found my sister. I had a long lost sister, found her last year before her father died.
Oh,
so there was a new TV show.
Oh, so
Yeah, it's a new TV show.
With
Devon Franklin.
Yes,
Devon Franklin. I've been on Empire.
Yeah.
4 times, and then I ended up now considered in the industry, and I didn't even pursue it, but I'm a supporting artist, so I'm no longer background. So you know, when they hire me, my checks are a little higher.
Yeah. That's it.
Okay, so I mean, you know, cause it's all fun, and then we can explore all we want and do what we want to do, and all this. But you know, if you're not getting checks, it's a hobby.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So all right. So I love y'all.
Thank you.
Reach out to me. I'm serious, and I got you.
Is the CEO, president, owner, I give you all sorts of titles, of MC Casting. He casts for Case Files, which is like, yes, Case File TV is an Emmy award-winning show. Like, who wouldn't want to be on an Emmy award-winning show? And he also casts for other upcoming projects. I know he has some modeling opportunities. Him and I had a conversation about doing more modeling opportunities and things of that nature. And his topic is going to be how to be professional on set and what is the producer and also the director is looking for. So,
And I also want to talk about the application process.
the application process. So, let's give Matt your...
She got you? Okay, awesome. She has you. Did you need me to scoot over there?
No, she's good.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm Matt Campbell. I have my own company, MC Chicago Casting. I'm also a producer at Halo Media, which that's where we do the Case Files TV show, and we also make crime documentaries, in which we've been able to sell some to Sundance, Showtime, Netflix, Apple, our works all over those sites. I'm also an actor and a model too, but I would love to tell you all about my movies and stuff because I'm excited about that, but I am here today to talk to you guys about casting and how to get booked, and I have a lot of insider tips for you guys that you guys can use in your application process and when you're trying to book some jobs for yourself. So the first rule is always know what you're applying for. It's just like if you're an accountant and you want to go apply at John Hancock, you want to research that company. When you go into the job, you want to know a little bit about them. So I've had it before where, you know, I put a casting call up for the Case Files TV show and somebody was like, well, I don't even know what I'm walking into. And I said, well, girl, it's on the post. It says, like, this is the, you know, we're looking for people to be in the reenactment scenes for the Case Files Chicago TV show that airs every Saturday on the CW. I don't know what else to say. Yeah. But I don't know, you acted like you were walking into like a Craigslist ad. You're a host. So I'm like, you know, so always know what you're applying for. There's a lot of people that I noticed that, you know, they apply to every single thing that they might even remotely close fit. And that's okay, but just keep kind of a radar of kind of like what you applied for, and like so when it does come back, if you do get a call back or you do get an inquiry about your availability, you're not like, okay, what was this for again?
Yeah.
You don't want to do that. The people are going to be turned off. The clients are not going to like that. Follow instructions. You know, on the when you see, you know, if you see the posting for it, make sure you follow all the instructions. Send the email complete with all the information that was asked of you. You know, preparation. In terms of preparation, you know, it's kind of annoying sometimes as me submitting this stuff myself. It's kind of annoying to have to like every time type in the whole thing. So what's easy and what I encourage people to do is have a template ready. Have a template ready and your drafts are on a file on your desktop so you can copy and paste your whole information. But don't stop there, because if you just send the full thing with more than information, like your shoes that we didn't ask for shoe size or dress size, like all this extra stuff, don't do that either. But it is easier to then copy paste the full thing, but then delete the shoe size, delete the, make sure it's still just what they asked for. Because people will talk about it. We'll throw the cat submissions on the flat screen and go through them, and if people like there'll be comments like, oh, they didn't follow instructions, and so you know, that's a big thing. Pictures. I wish he was still here. Pictures are huge, and it's probably one of the most important things in your submission process. Pictures alone, like the better your pictures are, I think the better chance that you have to get booked. I think it's important to go see somebody like him at least once or twice a year and spend a little money on some really good quality shots. I also think it's important, and there's you know, people out there that will charge like a much more reasonable and feasible rate for you if you want to get some, just especially for actors too, if you want to just get some fresh stuff for your submissions and just to put out there. So then, even if you want to show different looks, or just to have something fresh that you could add to your submission, so it's not like the same pictures every time, type of thing. So pictures are very important. So basically, in terms of the application process,
I have a quick
that's
question.
where
I'm
you,
sorry.
yes.
How, for the pictures, how old or how far back for the pictures did you go?
Well, as long as you still kind of look like that now. We had an instance we had a job for a music video, and we needed a lady to play a suburban mom with blonde hair. Well, she sent all the pictures with the blonde hair, and then the day of the shoot, she called me and she's like, oh, by the way, I have pink hair now. Is that going to be a problem? And I was like, well, yeah, kind of, because like suburban moms don't really have pink hair. So, like, thanks for telling me that. So that's very important. You don't want to, even if, let's just say, you might look better in a different color hair or something, at least make an indication like, hey, my hair is pink right now.
Yeah,
or my
put
hair
it on an
is,
application.
yes,
Yeah.
be very like thorough in your application process, and like, guys, this is where the stuff's won, especially when you're applying on your own, like your agent's not making you be like exclusive or whatever. This is where like a lot of it's won, and the simplest thing to do is just have your pictures, like have good pictures, and just follow the instructions, and don't be a brat, basically. When you're, yeah, like I've had people ask me all these questions, like, is this show even on TV or just YouTube? And I'm like, well, first of all, it's not on YouTube. It's not, if you just read and do 2 clicks, you could have watched like videos on the Case Files page. They have their own page for the show.
Absolutely.
You could have like looked at it. So I'm asking questions. I'm like, who's the like, is my show on
I'm asking a question.
Next, you know, so like, just always be mindful of that. Okay, the next big important thing is being professional on set, and I'm not here to like come down on you guys, but this is like a huge thing if you want to get rebooked by like the same company or something like that. So when you first arrive on set, make sure you go right to the check-in and take care of that business. Once that's handled, figure out what they want you to do next. It's okay, I know we're gonna always sometimes see like familiar faces or like new people that we might want to network with, and that's all fine. My suggestion is to just wait for a time, like figure out everything, what's going on first, what they want from you, where they're gonna send you, if you're going to hair and makeup first or whatever. Make sure, because you're there to work, you want to make sure that's all taken care of. Try to keep the networking and stuff like that minimalized to situations where like you're going all to the food, get the food table, go to craft food services, or getting, you know, the most important thing is to be attentive to what's going on if you're on a TV show or you're on a modeling set. Be always aware of like if somebody's gonna come around to like get you. You don't want to get caught like talking really loud or like this and that. Like when they come to get you, you want to be like, you can talk, but try to be quiet and, you know, do your thing. But like, just always be aware of like what's going on around, and just always be ready. Like that should be the priority. Like get all your stuff ready, and then go network and share Instagrams and Facebook and exchange all the information and talk to old faces that you might have like come across. There was a time early in my acting career where I did background work a little bit to just not only as for an actor, but like I wanted to observe how people did it on Chicago PD and like Empire and like learn that way as a producer. So when I go do my producing jobs, I can learn that way. There was an instance where it was me, we were all playing SWAT team guys in like vests and tactical gear, and it was like 4 other guys and we were getting coffee, and the 4 other dudes were like talking, and I was just like I told you guys, just, I was listening to them, but I was also watching like if there's any producers or PAs or anybody gonna come around and like talk to us. Sure enough, this guy came up, he was one of the he's an AD, I think, and he looks right at me, he's like, you come with me, and instantly I got like, he gives me a clipboard, he's like, sit, this is your desk, write, like, just pretend you're writing something. As soon as the sergeant and the other dude come in, go right up to them and be like, can you sign this, sergeant, you know, whatever. And so, like, I just got bumped up from, like, walking around in the background, like, looking for evidence to, like, now I'm, like, a featured part of the scene. And that was just based off of just being ready and being attentive to the situation and not just, like, talking off on the side. And that's happened before to other people. If they see you and they're just ready to go, you might get bumped up. If you're a model too, background or featured stuff, I know Empire does a lot of stuff like that. That might be something good to do for your, you know, if just in the meantime, if you don't have a job booked for a certain day, they like, you know, there might be featured models in a convertible or like featured models in Chicago PD at the pool with the main characters walk by and like it's integral part of the scene. Don't exclude yourself out from that. That can be something, you know, and it might be fun to add to your page. Like, hey, I did a TV show today. Like, I'm a model, but they wanted models for this, you know, something like that. Let's see, what else? Treat staff members with respect. Everybody's dealt with like a really rude or mean like PA or somebody that's like facilitating things. Doesn't matter. They're them, you're you. You're not rude. You're not, you always just, you don't have to bark back at them or like have an attitude, just always remember you're yourself and you need to conduct yourself as such. Doesn't mean if they're rude, that's terrible that they're a bad person, I'm sorry, you know?
Yeah,
but I'm not gonna change myself to like.
Keep yourself neutral.
Exactly, so always remember that it's your brand still too and who you are. Don't, yes, exactly, and don't stoop to that
All
level.
of those PDs and producers be knowing each other.
Absolutely.
Other TV shows, so that'll mess up your chances of being booked on any
And they'll
TV
call
show.
4-star really quick.
Exactly, oh yeah.
One bad word and you're done.
Yeah.
Always be aware. Okay, don't wander. We had this issue on a hair shoot last week for like a high-end, like a luxury brand, like for wigs and stuff. They were like looking for one of the models. They're like, where is she? Like they were at this really nice restaurant for the shoot that they got. They found her like on another floor, like in the kitchen, like taking selfies, like on the side. Like they're like, hey, we need you like down here. Like you're like up. Like and there was like a call sheet too for that shoot. There was like a whole schedule too and everything. So she knew that too. So they were telling me like, we're having a problem with this girl. Like so I had to talk to her. And if I cast for something for modeling, like. If it's either like music videos or like photo shoots or something like that, I'll usually go and just because I wanted to, you know, be almost like a bridge to it because I'm the one that found the girls.
Yeah.
And so for instances like that, but also there was times where like I got these girls for a music video. They wanted the girls to be, they wanted one girl to dress up as an office secretary and so like twerking around and stuff. I said, hold on a second. Not every music video has to be twerking about. Like I go, there's a way you can make. I don't want her to be twerking in this thing. I'm like, you can do things like she comes up with a stack of papers. Like you can make it sophisticated, classy, and it's still sexy. You don't have to. Not everything has to revert back to twerking.
Good job.
So I'll protect my model. Exactly. The director was shocked, but then after it was done, he's like, dude, you were right, and this is actually better than if she was just twerking on the desk. I'm like, yeah.
outfit she got on, that don't even match. Like, I'm gonna be twerking in a
Right.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That don't make sense.
So,
Preserve correctly.
and that's the thing too, like, a lot of music videos, they're looking for a model type girl to be the main girl of the story. Like, a lot of them are cinematic stories, not all of them are like just dancing in a club or something, or like, and that's why I try to encourage too. So anywhere I can, I will try to promote that, like, classy is still sexy.
Yes.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be like, out of control like that.
Especially in this industry.
Yeah.
And so also every person you come across, just try to make a good impression, because you never know who's gonna refer you to somebody. You never know who's gonna ask somebody for good models, and they'll refer your name. And casting directors too, like if somebody brings me a job, I often first think like, well, who do I know? Who can I book before I even put the post up? You know, and I'll try to book people before I even put the casting call up. So if you did a great job for somebody, they'll remember that. And even some people that hired me, they're like, hey, if they were great, like, get them again, you know? And so just always remember that. Just try to keep that and try to make a good impression on people that you come across. Okay, so moving on to what casting directors are looking for in talent. Okay, so like I said earlier, your application process and your submission process is a huge part. That's what we do. We'll put it on the TV and we'll just go through the submissions. And what we usually do is just like write a list, like the first time through, of like potential people that could be good for this role for acting, or like could be good for this modeling gig. Then we go back again, and now we got a shorter list, you know? So your application process is so huge. Like I said, the pictures are such a huge part. Your past history with the company could get you another job, like keep booking again, leaving a good impression, like I said. I guess I just said all this stuff just before this, but yeah, just make sure, you know, always be aware of yourself. Like, always be aware. You never know. Like, you just want to be always on your best behavior, and you don't want to be the one, you know, that PAs have to go tell the casting company, like, don't book this person again.
Yeah.
You know,
Because they will do it.
they will.
They will do it. Have questions?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I was the first person, sorry. But everything that you was pretty much like saying, I experienced that this year as getting booked on Empire, because this was my first year getting booked on Empire as an extra twice. So, like, it was my first time seeing how behind the scenes work, as far as like how you were saying, assistant PDs, and like, I was able to meet some of them and see like, you know, like how they move and how they operate, and like how you were saying, you know, like as far as what they looking for, I could say like that's true, because like I experienced that, because I was just like, you know, they say like, you know, quiet on the set, like be quiet. It was like literally still people like talking. It was like no phones, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Like they called somebody, like it was before my crowd, but like somebody had a phone and they leaked the production, one of the production scenes.
Yeah,
so,
Empire has a lot of trouble with that.
yeah, so like, so they was like real strict on the phones. We had to lock up our phones. We could only check it in the phone area. We couldn't walk around in the break room with it or anything.
Exactly.
And then like another thing I had noticed, like I guess one of the PDs on the show was like looking for somebody, and like looking for somebody to play somewhere, and then they was like, ooh, pick me, and he was like, when you say pick me, I'm not gonna pick you.
Right.
So like, can you kind of explain why would they say something like that? Like if you tell them like they looking for something, they were like, oh, pick me, and then he was like, I want you to understand, like, as much as you say pick me, I'm not gonna pick you, I'm gonna pick somebody else.
Two reasons. First of all, what I noticed, you said like they were looking for somebody else. They will remember that, like, where's the girl in the red top? We wanted to place her here. And if they come looking for you and you're not there, like, wow, like I'm so that's horrible. The second thing is if the pick me thing, why they won't pick you, is because like people they just get attacked by so many annoying people every day. Yeah, and so it's like desperation. Like you don't want to be desperate. That's the one thing I did forget to talk about. I'm glad you brought that up. Desperation is not a good characteristic to have. You want to find this happy zone where it's like, let's just say if you do a scene with Terrence Howard, one guy I saw, he went up to him afterwards with his phone, or like tried to like talk to him. There's like, you want to approach the situation like with her that just spoke, you know. It's like, when we message her, if anybody wants to reach out to her, it's about kind of like how you go about it. You don't want to be too desperate. Don't want to come off as desperate. Just be humble and just like, hey, you know.
Just be yourself, baby.
Yeah.
So in terms of like, you know.
And I noticed that too, like that was an issue that was like had to all of that happened behind the scenes on Empire.
Oh, it's an everyday problem.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted you guys to know. Don't.
And then some of the same PDs from Empire was on another show I got booked for called Infamy. It was a pilot show.
Yeah.
Infamy. So like some of the same producers from that show was on this show. I was like, oh, I remember you. So like, and some of them remember my face.
Now let's just say you made it, you had a small conversation with one of those producers.
And I did.
Now it's appropriate to add them on Facebook, I think, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But don't add them from nowhere or whatever, like you didn't meet them yet. And also, like, to put it into perspective, like I have some friends that make their own films. And, you know, if I want to act in it, I won't like, I might drop like a little bit, hey, if you need me for the film, let me know. Not like, hey, like, am I in? Am I in? Am I in? Like, can I be in it? Can I be in it? Just one, like, just hey, like, if you need me, let me know. I've had people like that I'm friends with on Facebook still, but like they auditioned for one of the pilots that I'm producing or like a film that I'm producing. They keep messaging me, hey, we're like, dude, we said you get an email by Sunday if you were here by Sunday if you get the part.
Absolutely.
And then he keeps messaging me like, did I get it? Did I get it? He messaged the writer. We're like, dude, we're not gonna ever want to work with you.
Yeah.
Right. It's impatient.
Because now I feel awkward.
Yeah.
It's hard enough for me, like you know.
And that's something I noticed with like Guild Talent too. Like when I went to the casting call, they was like, you know, okay, the casting call was Saturday. They was like, do not hit us up on Tuesday, following up, and it's that. They was like, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like you pretty much you gotta like you could follow up, but like you're like it was just Saturday, so they not gonna no way they gonna have an answer by Tuesday or the week after they had a lot of auditions and seen like a lot of people in one day.
Yeah.
So it's gonna take time.
Yeah, just use common sense and just don't be overly like, you know, desperate or annoying or like that. That's like you saw like pick me
everything.
And they're like no, I will not. You're like, you know. So that's just stuff that goes on. Yeah.
I've done Empire. I started doing background work in the modeling thing probably about, I'm 47 now. I started when I was like 45. So, so when I first started, I started off doing a lot of background stuff, Empire, Chicago PD, Chicago Med, Chicago Justice, all those different shows, and you do see a lot of the same people, the same PDs, you know, you're working with a lot of the same people, and once you see them for a while, you kind of get to know them, and you don't do it in an irritating way, like Matt said, you don't want to inundate them, you know, be all on top of them, but they just will happen to see you, you know, you speak to them and, you know, they'll get to know you after a while, and the whole background thing for me got, like I said, I was 45 at the time that I started. The background thing for me got old a little fast. It was fun at first, but after I'd done it for about 3-4 months, I was like, yeah, it's a little much, especially when Empire took the phones away. Said no more phones because they did have a lot of issues. Right, I'm like, what in the heck am I supposed to do for 9 hours while I'm on set? So I don't do background for Empire anymore. But because of the fact that I got to know a lot of the PDs and you know the people that work there, when they need a stand-in now, they call me for that. The stand-ins can keep their phones.
And that's what can happen too.
The stand-ins get more money.
Put it on your resume.
Right,
they're
you
gonna
put stand-in work on your resume. You can't put background work on there, but the background work, a lot of people think, well, if I start doing background, then next thing you know, I could be a main character on the show. That might not happen, but you can build relationships and network, and you can become a stand-in, you can become a featured extra. So there are other things you can do from background if you're on set making a good impression and not trying to do too much.
Exactly, and it sounds like you're doing it the right way.
People, they don't want to be bothered with them because like Shatima said, that's annoying. Who wants to be annoyed?
And if you're there and you're working and you're doing a good job, they're gonna notice eventually. And like you said, they will hit you up with bigger things like stand-in. Now you're Taraji stand-in.
I'm not Taraji stand-in.
I know, I'm just saying like now all of a sudden you're standing in for
they were and they're calling for different day players. I mean, I stood in for Nicole Ari Parker before. I look nothing like her. Nothing. I'm taller than her. I got dreadlocks. I mean, we look nothing alike. They just need a body though, and they need somebody that they know is going to get get there on time. You're gonna be where you're supposed to be, when you're supposed to be there, you're gonna pay attention, you know.
Right.
And that's just what they're looking for. And if you've shown them before that you're dependable, then they know we can use you for the part, even if you don't look anything.
Right, though, they will notice and they will get called back for something better. And yeah, you just can't be too like annoying about it, you know. That's what I was gonna say. I know it can get really exciting if it's the first time somebody like works on a TV set or a big modeling shoot and you're just really excited to be there. And this is something that you love doing, you want to do it. Well, guess what? Like, if you want to do it more, you gotta chill out and be cool. Like, just listen and like do what they want you to do first. It's your job, and then you will be here more instead of just a few times. So don't get too excited.